The NFL on CBS. Today's NFC Championship game is sponsored by Ford and your Ford dealers, who invite you to see and test drive the all-new LTD and Mustang. Lowenbrau, light special and dark special when it's time for the taste of a truly great beer. And by Avis, the We Try Harder car rental company.
71,000 enthusiastic fans at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. And I mean, they are excited. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire, and I don't think I've ever seen the Ram fans like this before.
Can you imagine we're going to get paid for working today? This is the most fun we're going to have all year.
It's been going on like that all year. You're
Patrick,
right.
We got two different teams, though. I think the Rams are about the toughest, nastiest football team in the conference, maybe in the league. And I think Dallas has sophistication. I think today they've got to lay their ears back. Dallas has to run the football for a change and make it known.
Thomas Henderson, the Cowboy linebacker, has said the Rams don't have enough class to go to the Super Bowl. We're going to go down and pick up the introductions now of the Rams. Jack Youngblood is first.
He's the strong side defensive end. He was out an hour and a half before the game.
Cody Jones at one of the tackles. He's had a great year.
Had 8 solo tackles when the Rams beat the Dallas Cowboys earlier in the year.
The other tackle is the young man from Notre Dame, Big Mike Fanning, number 79.
Which means that Larry Brooks' knee would not go today, the all-pro defensive right tackle. Might be a factor.
Number 89, the other defensive end. There goes Mike Fanning. Fred Dreyer is number 89.
I think he went out of line. The free spirit was introduced out of place.
That doesn't surprise you. There's Fanning arriving right now. The linebackers, and they're a good group.
And they're going to be the intimidators. That's Jim Youngblood, number 53. He will be after Dorsett early and hard.
Not related to Jack. Bob Brudzinski is number 59.
240-pounder out of Ohio State. He can tackle, has a little trouble with pass defense occasionally.
And the cornerbacks have been devastating. Number 27 is Pat Thomas.
16 interceptions between the cornerbacks, and they're 5'9" and 5'10" respectively.
The other one is Rod Perry. 4 touchdowns they have scored, the 2 cornerbacks.
And 2 salty safety men. Elmendorf, the tight man, and Simpson, who will follow him. They're as good as you can have, other than maybe Waters and Harris.
Who, of course, are the safety men for the Cowboys. The rest of the Rams, coached by Ray Malavasi. And as we said before, he could well be the coach of the year.
I think we're all taped up. We might as well get on with it.
We told you before, we have never seen the Ram fans this excited. There are 71,000 of them on hand. It's a sight like you'll never see anywhere else.
Well, we got to remember that Pat Hayden, while he's 5'10", has beaten the Cowboys both games he's played against them in this league. He's 2-0 against them.
Now, Thomas, the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join one of Southern California's finest vocalists, Erna Hoffman, and the University of Southern California Trojan Marching Band under the direction of Dr. Arthur C. Bartner in our national anthem.
In the NFC title game, you look at one of the captains, Tom Mack, Kevin McClain of the special teams, Ron Jesse, Willie Miller, and Jack Youngblood. And the Dallas captains, Roger Staubach, Drew Pearson, D.D. Lewis, Harvey Martin, and Randy Hughes.
And Roger was fine warming up and airing it out and looked very sharp.
Let's see if we can pick up the voice of Ben Dreith now as we find out who wins the toss. These two teams, of course, met the 3rd week of the regular season with the Rams being
Dallas
very impressive.
captain, call a coin when it's in the air. Heads, he calls. It's a heads. Dallas won a toss.
The Cowboys will operate with the football. And look out for something funny early.
Have a good game.
Good officials for this game. Dreith runs a steady ship.
Ben Dreith, Al Conway, Walt Peters, Bob Beeks, Ben Tompkins, Don Orr, Bob Workman, and they have 2 alternates. Dreith is the referee. The alternates are Bob Frederick and Dick Ferguson.
And again, we'll look for early turnovers. The teams that have handled Dallas this year, and there haven't been before, got the early turnovers and made them work. They made them the same mistakes against Atlanta, but not quite enough offense to get the job done last week. Roger had, what, 4 INTs here the last time when the Cowboys lost that game to the Rams.
And he had quite a lengthy discussion one time when he was chased out of bounds in front of the Ram bench. And he was quoted as saying to the Rams, "We'll see you in the playoffs."
This guy is quite a rookie, isn't he? Mr. Corral, you're
a big, strong kicker, Frank Corral. Deep for Dallas will be Larry Brinson, number 36, and Butch Johnson, 86. Butch had a tough time last week hanging on to the football.
Corral says you taught him everything he knows.
I don't even know how to kick like he does.
He's strong.
He'll start it. Title game is underway. Bounces to Butch and into the end zone and out of bounds in the end zone. They'll start from the 20. Ram fans are really in a festive and very excitable mood. Here is the Dallas offense. You've heard the names and they're good.
Donovan, Scott, Fitzgerald, Rafferty, and Wright. And they are the most improved, perhaps, the department of the entire Dallas team this year.
The wide receivers are both dangerous. Tony Hill and Drew Pearson. The tight end is one of the very best. Billy Joe Dupree.
Staubach, Tony Dorsett will be pressured early, and Scott Laidlaw, who's in for Newhouse.
They operate with a double tight end setup with Jackie Smith flanked on the right, and now in motion. Scott Laidlaw will carry the first down for Dallas. He might have gotten a yard, but no more than that. Jack Reynolds, the middle linebacker, was there to meet him.
So is Burdinsky, the 240-pound linebacker. And again, the Cowboys, I felt, will take it right to the best defense in football and see if they can stop a good rushing game.
And now that Ram defense of which Tom Brookshire was speaking.
Youngblood, Jones, Fanning, and Dreyer, and the mop-up guys, they're the ones you got to watch. Youngblood, Reynolds, and Burdinsky, who just made the last tackle.
And the secondary is excellent. Elmendorf and Simpson, the two safety men, 2nd and 9. Dallas operating from their own 21, and Pearson comes in motion. Through, that is. And this is Tony Dorsett. To the line of scrimmage before Cody Jones wraps him up. That's all he gets.
The man in motion's already gone by. Inside handoff. Scott pulls in front of him. Look at the good play by Cody Jones. And 76 is the one that had a ferocious game here in that first win.
He really did play well in that game.
Protect my bones. Here comes Cody Jones. Remember that song they were singing?
They sang a lot of choruses that day. It'll be 3rd and 9 now. Dorsett got none. They are the best in the league in this situation, those 3rd down conversions. Roger Staubach has Tony Hill split wide right, left. Pearson on the other side. He takes a draw play. He gets away from Jack Youngblood, and Roger Staubach might have the Dallas first down. He does.
There's any doubt about how number 12 feels. That explains it. He was knocked out with a concussion last week. He put it away and just did get away from Youngblood and got out of the pocket. Can't believe Cosell said this guy was not a great athlete.
Who?
That fella. But watch this move. Youngblood from behind him. Cody doesn't get anything but a hand. Roger runs pretty well in the blue jersey too, doesn't he?
11-yard gain by Roger Staubach. The line of scrimmage, the Rams, the Dallas 32. First down, Cowboys. Pearson comes back in motion. Dorsett looking for some place to go and can't find it. Again, they stack him up before he gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Big penetration that time by Cody Jones, and Dorsett tried to do the soft shoe. It didn't get much at all.
Jim Youngblood made the tackle with help from Jack Reynolds. Maybe he got a yard, maybe a little bit more than that. Mike Fanning, who started, and he's really starting to play. He started in place of Larry Brooks. Pearson comes out of the backfield in motion. The fake is to Dorsett, and Roger, with good protection this time, throws to Tony Hill. He's got it. He juggled, and perhaps with the juggle lost his first down before Rod Perry and Dave Elmendorf took him down.
He just curled in between the safety men and the deep cornerback, but watch the catch. Ball is thrown high a little bit, and T. Hill at 6'2", about 190. I don't know how he made the second grab at the ball. Excellent catch. From another angle now. The man from Stanford. Thrill Hill. Watch the second catch. That's got to be concentration.
Enough for a Dallas first down. At their own 42.5, perhaps. 11:14 left to play first quarter as Dorsett slips down. Bob Brudzinski makes sure he stays down.
The turf is natural, and it's a little soggy in the middle, but that's no reason to fall down. The sides of the field are pretty firm. Sometimes you need cleats on the sides of your shoes, but...
It rained very hard here all day Friday. Field was covered, but because it was so windy, some moisture got underneath. And there are some bad spots if you look at Fred Dreyer.
Cowboys are running the screen very well now. Last part of the season, they were really excellent at it.
Good time for it right here. 2nd and 12. Sideline. Oh. Drew Pearson made the catch. They call him out of bounds. Rod Perry was in good shape for an interception.
Rod Perry has 8 interceptions, 3 run back for touchdowns, and he's a gambler. And he almost won that gamble. He's only 5'10". He got both of them down, did he?
No, did not. Got one of them down maybe, but not the other. It'll be 3rd down, 12.
These Ram cornerbacks, they come right up and dare you, and they've got good safety men to pick up and help.
That's a lot of the reason they can come up and dare you. Preston Pearson and Tony Dorsett are the 2 backs, but Roger operates from the shotgun this time. That one will be in bounds to Butch Johnson, but it will not be enough for a first down. Nolan Cromwell, the Ram defensive back.
It's, again, the short out to the same side. Pretty good call when you think it has just been run and almost picked off. Butch goes up, gets both down, and here comes Danny White's first punt.
Danny White, who did just an excellent job last week and the week before that, or 2 weeks before that, in the final week of the regular season against the Jets. But after Roger was knocked out last week against Atlanta, Danny White was superb. Jackie Wallace, the NFC's leading punt returner, is deep for the Rams. Trying to get it out of bounds, and he does. About the 17 where the Rams will operate with the football for the first time. No score as yet. 10:17 left to play in the first quarter. A 35-yard punt by Danny White. The Rams will operate next. Over 70,000 at the Los Angeles Coliseum to watch the Rams and Cowboys do battle to see who's going to play Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. The Pom-Pom Mom is very active.
She made the Pro Bowl team this year.
Unanimous choice. First down Rams. Pat Hayden, the quarterback, and John Cappelletti will carry the first time. It's a tough team to run against. Those guys in blue.
Hollywood Henderson.
Right.
Hollywood made a great play. Thought the Rams might go that direction just to see if his shoulders worked as well as his mouth. And it usually fires him up after he's made a few statements that he plays better. Watch Hollywood play off Bryant's block, the 240-pound fullback, and get under Cappy.
Harvey Martin helped out. Larry Cole, by the way, is starting in place of Jethro Pugh in the Dallas defense.
And this is some Ram offensive line. 4 out of the 5 are going to that Pro Bowl game.
They have 9 altogether. So does Dallas in the Pro Bowl. The Dallas flex is the front that Pat Hayden sees right now, and Cappelletti will have good yardage. He fumbles. Dallas has it. Charlie Waters picked up the fumble by John Cappelletti, and he's gone.
And that's the one thing that the Rams haven't done on offense much this year. Bryant hadn't fumbled at all, and Cappelletti's pretty sure-handed.
The first turnover belongs to Dallas.
Watch the draw. Behind the Ram quarterback, Saul goes out on Brunig, the middle linebacker. Mack has tied up Randy White. I believe it's Larry Cole that forced it out. Larry's in his 11th year and playing better than ever.
The Cowboys have the first break. 9:28 left to play first quarter, and Dallas is out of the huddle. Scott Laidlaw and Tony Dorsett. That's a motion set up we haven't seen before. It'll be Dorsett cutting back to the inside and getting out of the grasp of one man out of another now. Dorsett, with that great acceleration, goes out of bounds by Jack Reynolds.
Elmendorf made a good shot coming up from the safety spot. Again, he's watching the tight end make his block. Brzezinski fires through. He gets caught inside. Now watch the move right here. Elmendorf's a great tackler. He doesn't even get one hand on him. And Hacksaw does. And remember, Greg Pruitt for the Cleveland Browns gave the Rams a lot of trouble. Speed is one of the problems.
Dorsett got about 8. We'll make it 2nd and 2 as the Ram defense is standing deep in a hole at the moment. No score. 9:21 left to play first quarter. Dallas at the Ram 22. Scott Laidlaw inside the 20 to about the 19. Should be enough for a first down. Mike Fanning made the stop.
Fred Pryor and Mike Fanning made the stop. First down for the Cowboys.
Some sight.
That was some turnover. When you make 8 or 9 yards and then fumble it deep in your own territory, the other team gets it. Your defense has got to say, okay, it's our turn.
The number 1 offense in the NFC, that's Dallas. The number 1 defense in the NFL, that's Los Angeles. Dorsett came up with a rebound from Pearson. I don't know how. Pat Thomas made the tackle.
Drew Pearson was the man in motion, and he was coming under what we call a 4. That means you let the linebackers and all go back, and they clear out with the deeper receivers. And that time, he almost spiked it and gave it to 33.
Look at that again. See how that happened.
Let's see what happened with 88 now. Let's see if they clear out. There he comes back in motion. Now he goes under. Here's the throw, and he's being jostled, and here's Dorsett with it. It's like lighting a stick of dynamite.
Jack Reynolds hit him. Dorsett came up with a football. 5-yard gain is all they got out of all that confusion. That's what it was. And here is Dorsett on the inside, handoff with some room. Dorsett out of bounds at the 2 by Pat Thomas. Good looking play. 13 yards for Dorsett.
Watch Burton Lawless, number 66. To the right of your screen, he'll go outside and log Brzezinski, the linebacker, in. A great block at high speed. Well, we've said before, you don't have to get much, just some kind of contact.
Just that little dip with the shoulder set that block up for Wallace.
The upper part of Dorsett's body never seems to move. Down below things change around, but watch the upper part, how stable it is. Now inside those shoes, he makes a few moves, but the upper part's very stationary.
First and goal, Dallas. It is still Laidlaw and Dorsett. Dorsett probably needs a rest, so it'll be Laidlaw. Spins out, fumbles into the end zone. Dallas is all over it, but Jack Youngblood comes up with it. Not yet, now he does.
Was he in the end zone before he fumbled, or had he? I think the Rams got the football.
They did. The Rams got the football.
Okay, you can be the head linesman. Here it is, an inside trap play. That's Rafferty making the block. Laidlaw is going to spin now. Watch that ball closely. He fumbled it before he got in there. He fumbled it off his own side guard. I think Elmendorf forced it. That's a live ball now.
Laidlaw has a chance. So does Dorsett. So does Donovan. But Youngblood comes up with it, and the Rams will take over at their own 20. What a break.
Scavenger hunt.
There's the scramble again, and Jack Youngblood gets it for the Rams, and on first down they go with 3 wide receivers and go deep for Ron Jesse. Picked off by Randy Hughes at midfield. They had 3 wide receivers in the game, the Rams did, and Dallas guessed with them correctly because they had an extra defensive back in the game.
And Pat Hayden had a lot of pressure put on him. Watch Larry Cole, number 63. And Hughes was in. It looked like the last-minute change into the nickel defense by Dallas paid off.
Hughes is about 6'4 and a half. Of course, Jesse can really jump. But turnovers, there have been 3 already. And we still have 7.5 minutes left to play in the first quarter. No score.
And Hayden's 20th interception of the year, and that time he threw it a little bit blindly.
Larry Cole was looking right down at him. First down, Dallas at the Ram 48. Going right after it. Outside it goes Laidlaw, and a penalty marker goes down. Jim Youngblood on the coverage. Probably holding.
Pass protection, huh? Pittsburgh ran this play against Youngblood a little bit by faking to the back and making the linebacker that likes to tackle people respect it and then dump it to him.
Let's go down to the field and get a report from Frank Lieber.
Is that Dallas needs to score early to get in front of the Rams because of all the momentum provided by the fans. They are really loud, and the Cowboys would like to quiet them down with a score. Also talked to Thomas Henderson a moment ago as he went on the field. He looked at me and winked and said, "This is the moment of truth."
Well, I guess he should know. Thank you, Frank.
2 big turnovers, and Dallas isn't on the scoreboard yet.
Back to their own 41 now. Pitches back to Tony Dorsett. Out of the grasp of a tackler, Fred Dreyer, and Jim Youngblood finally gets him out of bounds.
At the 47-yard line by Jim Youngblood.
But Dorsett is struggling back to his feet. And limping.
Huh?
Second down, 14.
Went to a bad place, but nobody in the Rams bench jumped on him or anything.
He's asking for help.
A little bit of speed here. Watch the cut.
Dorsett is off on the far side of the field, and Preston Pearson has replaced him. And as good as Dorsett is, they don't suffer too much when Preston comes in. Taking a blitz. Youngblood off the ball early, and I think offside. Tony Hill, the intended receiver, I believe.
Remember we were talking to the Atlanta people about the shotgun?
Yeah.
About whether it took a lot of time to get your hand on it if you're the tailback?
Illegal motion against Dallas. Tony Hill might have jumped. Youngblood jumped early, you saw that, but Hill had already gone by that time. There's Dorsett. Left ankle, would you think? Left foot.
Valuable piece of
It was down. The foot was down. Yeah. Come on. They're right there.
That's what he's done so far.
Preston Pearson's only carried the ball for 104 yards on 25 carries. He's not used to full-time duty.
But remember the great game that he had here in 1975.
3 touchdowns.
The Cowboys beat the Rams and went on to the Super Bowl, lost to Pittsburgh that year. As a wild card team they were. 2nd and 20.
Tough play.
Shotgun formation. Trying to set up a screen pass, and does, to Preston Pearson, but Jackie Wallace is right there.
And the Rams nickel defense pays off. Again, the man in motion that you saw fly by was Pearson. Boy, Wallace came right on by Fitzgerald and made the play from under. He's the free safety man. It's about 12 yards off the ball.
Jackie Wallace, who spent time with Minnesota, spent time with Baltimore, and eventually came here and was cut. And then was called back. What a good job he's done all year. 3rd down, and they do not shotgun it this time. Rodgers up under the center. Preston Pearson directly behind him. And rush is controlled pretty well as Staubach looks out to the right and now throws back across the field. Billy Joe Dupree has it. It'll not be enough for a first down as Dave Elmendorf is there with him. Danny White will punt, but watch that pass protection. Excellent.
Offensive line did a heck of a job. You look at it. The Rams are trying to stunt. By that they twist. Ends go in and the tackles go out. I'm telling you, Roger had about 9 seconds. But a very dangerous throw. However, Dupree's a pretty safe target. He's so darn big, right?
Rayfield Wright did a heck of a job on Jack Youngblood. And that's a matchup we'll watch throughout the day. That's been an old and tough rivalry. Danny White back for Dallas and Jackie Wallace deep for the Rams. High kick, trying to get it out of bounds. And goes and took off. 48-yard kick by Danny White, and the Rams will operate again from their own 20 with 5 minutes and 21 seconds left to play in the first quarter, and there is still no score. It's been a great year for cheerleaders, and it's going to be a great night tomorrow on CBS. It's your first kiss. Charlie Brown.
Make sure you add that. And White Shadow, which is a great show, you know.
Yeah. Followed by MASH and then by Lou Grant. And the embraceable U's of the Rams look on with this most enthusiastic crowd. John Capoletti swings right to his left. Tackled, if you can call it that, by Cliff Harris. It was more like a ride.
That time they handled Randy White and took him down and kicked Harvey Martin outside. It's the big pass rushing side of the Dallas defense, but once in a while you can run at it. Look at Mack get outside of 54 and cut him off. Harvey Martin ran himself out of it. And again, the safety men had to make the tackle. And this time, no fumble.
10 yards, a first down for Capoletti. 4:50 left to play in the first quarter. No score. Line of scrimmage, the Ram 31. Capoletti got 11. He and Cullen Bryant are the setbacks, and that's Bryant. He got 100 last week. He is stopped by Ed Jones.
I think we've told you during the year that Too Tall Jones signals whether the Dallas defense is going to hit or not. If the big man's got the fire in his eyes, they're tough. Bryant, by the way, is weighing 241. And that's the first carry of the day.
Ray Malavasi. The offensive play is one-sided in Dallas' favor. 5 yards for Cullen Bryant. They get 2nd and 5 as Pat Hayden drops to throw and does throw. Capoletti almost to midfield to about the 48 before the pursuit of Randy White gets him.
Capoletti's getting up slow. A great block on the outside by Hura, the big right offensive guard, number 60. Cappy is going to have to shake this one off. The Rams are running back thin now. Watch this play. I'll tell you, Hayden's a pretty cool little customer. Watch the block by number 60, Hura. A roll-em-up block in the open field, and Waters couldn't handle it. Good play.
Capoletti is out, and Rod Phillips has taken his place. Hayden throws. It's caught by Terry Nelson, the tight end. He fumbles, and Cliff Harris is storming down the far sideline with the ball, but they're going to say he was down.
Terry Nelson is one of the great tight ends around. He and Charlie Young are both on this squad. And Nelson is on the roster at about 225. He's now weighing 240. And he could be the difference because he's going to make those Dallas safety men stay home a little bit. That's Charlie Waters, and that is Whistling Ray. He's from Dallas. He just got in town. 1st and 10 Rams. At the Dallas 40, no score. Hayden gets on a draw play to Rod Phillips. He got a couple before Jethro Pugh made the tackle with Ed Jones' help. Capoletti is sitting on the trainer's table. Right now, Phillips is in, and while Phillips is a fine backup player, Capoletti catches it, controls it, and of course, there's a man that had the big game against Pittsburgh that night. Capoletti's problem, we think, is with his shoulder. It'll be 2nd down now, and 8. Wide receiver Ron Jesse comes in motion. Pat Hayden is looking in his direction and throws high over his head. Benny Barnes, who had such a tough time with Jesse in week number 3 when Ron caught 7 passes, was the Dallas defender. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Rams and the National Football League is prohibited. Capoletti, we're told, has a separated shoulder. And he's through for the day. At least till halftime. 3rd down, Dallas fakes the blitz. And let's see if it's a fake. Not necessarily. Willie Waddy. Hayden read it perfectly. Benny Barnes on the tackle, but they showed too soon. That's right, and the Rams were ready for it. This was not a checkoff. Inside goes Waddy, who's a 4.45 40 man. And a great tackle by Barnes, or this could have been 6. Look at this tackle. 1 foot.
A heck of a job by Hayden.
He didn't overthrow it either. He just got enough on it to get it there cleanly.
Rams got a first down at the Cowboy 30. A minute, 10 seconds left first quarter. 0-0 game. That's Cullen Bryant, and Big Cullen bangs for about 6 before Bob Brunig. Little discussion going on between Harvey Martin and Doug France. Young Youngblood over on the Ram bench. Let's see what happened to Harvey if we can pick it up.
Watch the blocking on that side. Doug France and Harvey Martin. France weighs 288. Harvey's going about 250. Well, they're working that left side. Look at Mack go out on Randy White. Saul turns in Larry Cole. And Bryant's got good straight-ahead speed and big.
That was quite a tangle between France and the beautiful Harvey Martin. 6-yard pickup. Cullen gets the call again, and this time Harvey wins that fight.
He's been playing with a bad knee most of the year. That time he took the inside and got away with it. You're right down the line of scrimmage. If you think it's safe down there, get your Blue Cross paid up. It's tough. Good play by Harvey.
Coming up is play number 10 in this drive, and that will take place in the other direction because that's the end of the first quarter. And at the end of one, it's Los Angeles 0, Dallas 0. And don't forget that the NBA on CBS will follow the challenge of the sexes. Regional game coverage next week. The Knicks against the surprising Kansas City team. Chicago against Milwaukee. And Los Angeles against Seattle. Next Sunday, 1:45 Eastern Time here on CBS.
Pat Hayden is 3 of 5 for 34 yards. Looks to me like Waller and Malavasi all have a pretty good game plan.
This Ram drive now in its 10th play. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. And the NFC Championship game at the Los Angeles Coliseum. A quarterback draw by Hayden. Larry Cole and Bob Brunig, I believe, on the tackle.
I don't think that's too good for the game plan, nor the quarterback. Can't believe with Cullen Bryant back there, you're going to let Pat Hayden at 5'10", 180 pounds try to do a sneak against that bunch.
So much for the game plan.
But they got a kicker that was in range when they took the ball over midfield.
Nolan Cromwell will hold for Frank Corral, who kicked 29 field goals in the regular season.
He's 15 of 18 from inside the 30 or out to the 30.
This one will be from 39. Nope. Still no score.
Corral is 8 of 11 from this distance. And Henderson almost got there.
And you can tell from his reaction, it's still 0-0.
Whoever said Pat and I didn't like 3 in a booth must be out of their mind. Lonnie, how you doing? How's the show doing? WKRP Cincinnati.
It's doing wonderfully. We're back in production, and we go on the air a week from tomorrow night at 9:30, following MASH, right before Lou Grant.
Well, all of us in the business love it because it really is what our business is all about.
That's true. That's true.
And you're refreshed. You like the game?
Oh, I love it.
Let's get back.
Exciting. Okay.
Good luck, Lonnie.
I don't know whether she looks better in person or on camera.
She's a #1 draft choice, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Robert Newhouse in the backfield for the Dallas Cowboys now, along with Tony Dorsett, who's been taped up. Some confusion is settled by Jack Youngblood of the Rams. No score. Both teams have had chances.
You're behind Dorsett, the tailback. The fake almost, Newhouse looked like he hit it with his shoulder pad. And Roger, of course, has been in so many big games, he just said, we'll wait till the next one.
Newhouse, of course, broke his bone in his leg back during the regular season and hasn't played much.
He was looking for the ball, Pat.
And Dorsett in a setback. 2nd and 12, and Newhouse will get the carry. He struggles for 3 or 4 before Jack Reynolds and Jim Youngblood stop him. Pat Hayden, Ram quarterback, been criticized in many areas, but he has his team in the championship game. They say he's too short. They say he doesn't have a good enough arm, but he's a winner.
He sure is a winner. And he doesn't do any alibi when the things don't go well for him. But when he beat Pittsburgh that night, I thought he did as good a job of running an offense as any quarterback I'd ever seen.
The Cowboys have Tony Hill and Drew Pearson both split wide to the left, and Butch Johnson over on the right. A lot of power. Roger Staubach firing for Preston Pearson, and overthrows him just a bit. Jackie Wallace on the coverage, and we'll see Danny White again.
Pretty good coverage. That ball was laid out smoothly and neatly, but that's the only place that Wallace wouldn't have gotten a hand on it.
The Pittsburgh Steelers overpowered Houston today at Three Rivers Stadium. And they'll be in the Super Bowl against one of these two.
We've seen Danny White throw from this formation, run from it, and punt very well from it. I have a feeling he's going to kick this one pretty solid.
This will be number 3 if he does. The Rams have not had the punt yet. Jackie Wallace back there all by himself. Number 11 is Danny White. They don't put any pressure on him. And he lines a good kick to Wallace. Wallace fumbles and got it back. 46-yard kick by Jackie Wallace. That first Cowboy down. 46-yard kick by Danny White, handled by Jackie Wallace. That was Benny Barnes' first down.
Billy Waddy, his own man, is the one that went by and knocked the ball out. Look what he found. He found the ball again.
Yeah, Thomas Henderson was right there. Rams have the football at their own 29. 1st and 10, no score.
Harvey Martin against Big Doug France, huh?
And Ed Jones against John Williams on the other side. Hit before he got back to the line of scrimmage by Larry Cole was Rod Phillips. John Capoletti. Our information is that he has a separated shoulder. We don't expect to see him back.
You can sometimes strap him down at halftime, but you move any part of the arm and it just feels like a knife's going through you. That time the flex did a pretty good job. Harvey Martin got into that play and helped Cole out, and that's what it's supposed to do.
Harvey looking into that Ram backfield. Hayden. That was Cullen Bryant right straight up the middle, and it was Randy White who made the tackle. Embraceable you.
Cullen Bryant goes to Gold's Gym out here on the coast, which is where the pump and iron guys go. And they said he'll throw around 500 pounds now. We're talking about a press. And his arm at one time was the best arm, if that's the kind of stuff you judge in that, the best arm in California. I don't know about the rest of the body, but his arm is number 1.
Well, it seems okay. Hayden fires to the outside, and that should be Ron Jesse. Stopped by Benny Barnes, and he's got a Ram first down. Good throw from Hayden.
I'll tell you, Hayden's arm ain't bad either, right? The deep sidelines, and John Unitas, all of them will tell you, it's the toughest one. You have to hump it because you throw the ball a long way. And, of course, Jesse has Benny Barnes off of him because Jesse can burn anybody, and burned Barnes pretty badly the last time.
7 he caught. Tom Landry looking on. Scott Laidlaw almost had a touchdown for the Cowboys, fumbled into the end zone, and at the scramble, Jack Youngblood of the Rams came up with it. That was their threat. Cullen Bryant surges for about 5 before Bob Brunig could get him down. And Cullen just needs a little screen, and he's big and strong enough to cave a defense in by himself.
And a lot of people in football will tell you the line he's running behind when they're not caught holding is about the best blocking unit in football. They're big, they're strong, they're ornery.
Doug France, John Williams the tackles, Mack and Hara the guards, and Saul the center. It's a good group. 10 minutes, 10 seconds left before the half as Jesse goes in motion. 2nd down. Hayden this time with adequate protection, throws high.
Hollywood Henderson thought he should have intercepted that ball, but even the greatest of athletes couldn't have sky-hooked and come down with that one.
It's intended for Terry Nelson. And so it'll be 3rd down, and Dallas comes in with an extra linebacker in the person of Mike Hegman and 2 extra defensive backs, Randy Hughes and Mark Washington.
We're told we might even see 5 receivers at the same time for the Rams and no running backs at all before this is over.
Haven't seen it yet, but now they have 3 speed receivers in the game. And Hayden drops. Hayden is being chased, but he's got a lot of room down that far sideline. Pat Hayden to the 40. And is taken down at the Dallas 36 by Cliff Harris.
They've watched past Pat Hayden from West Covina to USC, Rose Bowls. And he had a 6.2 yard rushing average coming in. Now watch him cut it down. Good block by Saul on Ed Too Tall Jones, and Larry Cole has no chance from here on. Now he puts it away like he was taught in high school and takes what he can get.
All the way down to the Dallas 36 of the Rams after that 18-yard scramble by Pat Hayden. Cullen. And again, he is in the grasp of Charlie Waters, but that surge got 5.
That time Harvey Martin gets caught inside, and Doug France, the big fellow, just buried him. Now you're right down there. Watch the left part of your screen. Time they attacked the flex and got away with it. Waters, the safety man, makes the tackle.
Terry Nelson with an excellent block on Thomas Henderson.
Tell you, Max did a good job on Randy White, too. You're right.
Hayden chased by Jones, throws. Penalty marker is down. The pass is complete to Jesse. Covered by Barnes, but the flag is down.
The Rams offensive team had 133 penalties this year.
That was high, wasn't it?
Well, it was darn high, and against Los Angeles, 7 of those were holdings.
That's the first Ram penalty of today.
Good coverage by Barnes on that. We'll get the name and number.
From Ben Dreif, the referee.
Load it up, Ben, and tell us who it is.
Offensive holding, number 75.
He has that reputation, does number 75, John Williams.
Yep, and the new rules and everything. That's been the one problem this great line has had. They get caught.
That's about the only way you can block Ed Jones, though, is to hold him.
Low. Hope he falls.
The 3 wide receivers set up again as Billy Waddy, Ron Jesse, and Willie Miller are all in the game. The handoff is to Cullen Bryant. He bangs down to about the 32, but again, the penalty marker is down.
Boy, Dennis Harrah went outside that time and trapped Too Tall Jones, Ed, and stopped him dead in his tracks. Of course, Herky weighs 260.
Offside, Dallas.
Ram offensive line, very macho bunch, huh?
They're very good, too.
Well, the tension gets him. Look at the old nail-biter himself, huh? New hat, though. That's a gray fedora.
Very well-dressed fellow. He always is. Tom Landry from Mission, Texas. Here's Ben Dreif again. Let's hear it.
Offside defense, number 79. That's 2nd down.
79, of course, is Harvey Martin. Charlie Waters signaling some kind of defensive coverage. Dennis Thurman in the game and on defense for Dallas, along with Randy Hughes.
You better get Willie Miller covered up. He hasn't had a ball thrown his direction yet.
He's number 82. We'll watch it. Coming across, and again, that must be Ron Jesse.
There he is.
Thurman on the coverage, but it's a Ram first down. 13 yards on the catch.
And he's coming under. He'll come from the left side of your screen. Pretty good pass protection. A late rush on him. And a great catch by Jesse, who had 49 during the year. High jumper at 6'8", 26-foot long jumper at Kansas. pretty fair country athlete.
30 years old now, but an excellent athlete. He comes out of the game now. Greeted by his Ram teammates, Bill Simpson, and here's Cullen Bryant. Ducks under a couple of Dallas tacklers and is finally stopped by Bob Brune. Lost his helmet in the process. Larry Cole is the Cowboy he ducked under.
Dallas is chasing a lot now. They're trying to shut off the run. Look how quickly they're making the pursuit. Make a mistake and come back with a roll-away screen back to the weak side. You can make some yardage, baby.
Again, the 10th play. Well, this drive is coming up. Rams at the Dallas 20. There is still nothing on the scoreboard. Frank Corral missed a field goal for Los Angeles. Dallas fumbled in the end zone. Reverse coming to Waddy. That was well diagnosed. Henderson has the football and is waving. Come on, try to catch me.
I don't know if anybody in the field can catch him once he gets ahead of steam up. 9-4 in the 100 at Langston College. Let's see what happens on the play. It's the reverse. Let's see how Larry Cole gets involved in it. Oh, it's Harvey Martin.
Harvey Martin.
Ball was ruled down on the tackle.
3rd and 17.
Thomas Henderson was very vocal during the week. And those quotes that he made about the Rams not having enough class to be in the Super Bowl were well publicized. He also said something to the effect that we're going to kick their behinds.
But he used the word we. He was plural.
Anthony Davis in the backfield now for the Rams. Jesse was in motion. Hayden drops. The protection is good, and Hayden throws, overthrows, intended for Willie Miller.
I think Billy Waddy might have run the wrong pattern. The deep corner pattern and then back to the post by Waddy, and I don't believe he was supposed to drag his man in there. This could have been picked. In fact, Miller laid off of it when he saw Waddy coming across.
Benny Barnes is the Dallas defender you just saw flash across your picture. And Frank Corral will try again. This time from 45 yards out. Nolan Cromwell is the holder.
He's 8 of 12 from this distance, and he's won 3 football games in the last few seconds for the Rams.
Certainly strong enough to get it there from this distance. 45 yards. Wide left. And so with 5:55 left to play in the first half of this NFC Championship game, it is still Dallas nothing, Los Angeles nothing.
Now we got to set up now. If he cuts the lineman, then I'm going. We got to set up with these.
And also, now I told
What they doing out there?
and this guy comes from. So that's big now, because that's the guy that's going through that quarterback.
That's one of the fine coaches in football, talking to Charlie Waters. That was Gene Stallings. Speaking of spectacular things, as we were about the Sports Spectacular a minute ago, Wednesday night on CBS should be also.
Telly Savalas in Monte Carlo. That alone is a special show.
The Jeffersons, the 5th Annual International Circus Festival, and the 9th Annual Entertainer of the Year Award show. All that on CBS on Wednesday night. Jackie Smith starts in motion, no flag. Roger Staubach, still the Dallas quarterback. Robert Newhouse has joined Tony Dorsett. No scores yet.
First game, Dorsett was held to 60-some-odd yards rushing, and the ball popped up a lot. You saw a lot of football, and a lot of the Rams thought if they could get his attention early, they might get some turnovers.
I think they got his attention all right.
Trouble is, if you make one mistake, he's in the end zone putting it down and line up for the extra point.
Hurt his ankle a little bit earlier. Think about the running backs that the Rams have lost this year. Kendall Tyler, Elvis Peacock, Lawrence McCutcheon, and now John Capoletti. Roger Staubach down the middle, intended for Dupree. Intercepted. Simpson. Out of bounds at the 31. Safety man Bill Simpson. Now they say no. Not intercepted. They say he trapped it.
It looked like he tried to get down and make sure he got his hands under it. He had 2 against Minnesota last week. Watch this safety man now. Here's the fake. The ball is really whistled, but he missed the receiver, Staubach did. Yeah, a little bit of grass maybe on the bottom side of that ball.
Maybe. Very close. Billy Joe Dupree was the intended receiver. Dave Elmendorf was covering him. That was close.
On AstroTurf, though, there wouldn't have been any mark. On this old grass, there's probably a little bit of a piece of mud on it.
Preston Pearson has replaced Newhouse, and the offensive setup, which is now the shotgun. They blitz it, and it works. Cody Jones and Dave Elmendorf sack Roger. 76 is Cody Jones.
The 8th sack of the year for Cody Jones. Watch the left part of your screen. Now the right part, because Cody went all the way, the great polar route. He and Elmendorf met right at number 12, and Roger still fought the tackle.
And almost got away from him. Danny White. Again to kick. He has averaged 43 yards today. Jackie Wallace back to the Rams. This will be his 4th punt. And Los Angeles still has not kicked. Put the rush on. White shanks it. Off the side of his foot.
Whoa.
And the Rams will have the ball in Dallas territory. Not one of his better efforts. And they have reason to cheer. 23 yards is all Danny White could manufacture out of that punt. The Ram fans are excited again. 71,000 on hand in Los Angeles Coliseum and Madison Square Garden. We'll be busy next week for the Grand Prix Masters. Next Saturday at 3.
Jimmy Connors is now in that field, right?
4 on Sunday. Connors, McEnroe, Eddie Gibbs, Brian Gottfried, Harold Solomon. All of them have qualified, and McEnroe and Connors are in the same bracket. So they'll play early. Larry Cole takes down Cullen Bryant.
Rams have over 60 yards rushing already. 20 of that, of course, by Pat Hayden. But their field position is decent for the first time. The Rams had it on the 17, they fumbled. The 20, an interception. The 20, a missed field goal. They started from these yardages. The 29, and they started this time at the 46.
And Danny White starts to warm. Over behind the Dallas bench, Roger Staubach seems to be okay. Cullen Bryant and Jim Jodat are now the Ram running backs. Jodat is 43. He gets the carry, and he gets wrapped up and hit by Randy White, who then did a foot slam.
All right, let's watch it. You're looking right at Tom Mack and Doug France. That's Mack working on White, who is so fast at 250. He beat the block. Now he missed the tackle. Watch this. Whatever you got, you throw it in there.
Kung Fu.
He's got a farm down in Chester County, Pennsylvania, and raises his own food. If you ever see him working out, you'd probably become a health food addict. He is some kind of a specimen.
See how fast he went by Mack?
Very quickly.
Ram 3rd down as Hayden drops. He's rushed, and he'll scramble out of it for a little while anyway. Thomas Henderson and Charlie Waters cut him off at the pass, and the Rams, in spite of that good field position, manufacture nothing. Watch Randy White.
Remember when Randy gets it oiled up and he begins to get sweaty and steaming a little bit, that's when he comes on. This time France took him because of the twist, and he's still looking for somebody.
An injured Cowboy, I believe, is Charlie Waters, and he's being attended to now by Dr. Marvin Knight. Even Mac Davis says hi, Mom. Right?
Just the average spectator here at the game, right?
Glenn Walker for the first Ram punt. Tony Hill and Butch Johnson both back for Dallas. Walker's first activity of the afternoon as the Cowboys shift around.
He's had 2 blocked this year, and he's going to get some pressure.
Tony Hill, fair catch signal at the 22, where the Cowboys will operate with 2:23 left to play in the first half. 30-yard kick by Walker.
looking to see the quarterback is still number 12. I thought maybe that sack where the safety man and Harvey Martin hurt him, you know.
Maybe Frank Gleber's got some information. Let's check.
A little reaction from the Rams bench here. They're disappointed at the 2 missed field goal attempts, quite obviously, and losing Cappelletti. Surprised a little bit that the Cowboys have been so conservative on offense. They've come out of the conservative offense. They're surprised they haven't been doing better.
Thank you, Mr. Gleber. Roger Staubach is not being conservative right now. He has Dorsett out on the right flank. He splits a couple and finally goes down. Got about 7 or 8. Mike Fanning collapsed him.
Boy, Jim Youngblood wanted him so bad, number 53. And that's the one thing about Dorsett. Now, you're going to have the ball come right into your living room. Watch this. Roger reads it, dumps it off. Now, 53 right now is zeroing in on 33. Watch what happens. I don't think Tony even saw Jim Youngblood.
No score still. 2 minutes to go in the first half. That Ram defense is a solid group.
There's no one weakness you can probe. They're all just good, solid football players. That's the toughest defense you can play against.
2 to go in the first half. 2 minutes, that is. Raimondo Giovanni Giuseppe Baptiste Malavasi. You can call me Ray.
You can't put that on stationery. You got to be just Ray Malavasi, huh?
That's his real name. From Clifton, New Jersey. Good guy.
Yeah, sure is.
Great protection for Staubach for a while. And he is down in the grasp of one Fred Dreyer and Jack Youngblood.
Great coverage by the secondary. Roger Staubach did not have anybody open. All right, you're on the line of scrimmage. That's Youngblood now working against Rayfield Wright. Boy, and you're right, Patrick. They battled for a long time. Watch Youngblood. Back to 250 pounds. And the strong side defensive end has to play football, you know it? The weak side guy can be flamboyant. The strong side defensive ends have to really earn their money in this league.
Los Angeles has called a timeout. CBS Sports Spectator. I was talking to some people at the Atlanta airport last week after that celebration was over, and they said it's the wildest day they've ever had at the Atlanta airport. And they've had some wild times.
I had to fly with them.
With the fans, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I got some of them, too. They were proud. Third down, Dallas as Staubach goes straight back. Wisconsin has it. A fine catch for Butch. Wow.
It's one of the great throws you're going to see all year long. Rogers set up in that the pocket. He's had trouble with the right foot and the right hand. Watch this throw. And never saw the rush. Take a picture of that, folks. That's a great strike and an incredible catch.
Remember the catch that Butch made in the Super Bowl against Denver?
Rogers says you got to look for those. When you got quality people, you can do it. Staubach has that concentration factor down, doesn't he?
His little finger on that throwing hand, he doesn't use it all when he throws. It looks like a pretzel. Preston Pearson is right behind Staubach now. First down, Dallas. And again, he drops. Again, he has to scramble a little bit. He throws. Wide open is Billy Joe Dupree. Trying to get out of bounds, doesn't. Clock is continuing to run. Rod Perry took him down. Dallas has all of their timeouts left. 23-yard pickup.
There's B.J. 9 touchdowns for the tight end, but this might be one of his big grabs of the year. Boy, this is a great throw running left. Took a little off to make sure it was catchable. And as we told you, a whole suitcase hands put it away.
Rod Perry on the tackle.
Looks like Dallas may be able to control the line of scrimmage a little bit now. They're cutting people down earlier instead of taking them on high.
Don't forget our NBA coverage on CBS. Next Sunday at 1:45 Eastern Time. Pittsburgh beat Houston at Three Rivers Stadium earlier today, so the Steelers will go back and try to win a third Super Bowl. That's never been done before.
You realize the Rams beat everybody that was left in the playoffs?
Pardon?
Dallas, Houston, and Pittsburgh during the season.
have highlights, by the way, of that game and the slop in Pittsburgh during the halftime, where it was raining, and I guess conditions there were just miserable. Not if you're a Steeler. First down for the Cowboys, and they operate again from the gun. And the man who runs the gun throws it out of bounds in the direction of Tony Hill.
Boy, and I'll tell you, Big Mike Fanning ran right across the top of Roger. Last week, somebody said when they brought him to, he finally said, "Where's Wayne Harden?" He thought that Navy had just beaten Army.
Second down, 10 yards.
That's a true story.
That's a truth. That time, Fanning ran right over the top of him. Roger takes punishment very well. Keen eye and a clear head, that fella.
Good athlete.
Bad little finger, but good passer, right?
Still a minute 20 to go, and still no score in the first half at the Los Angeles Coliseum, which is sold out and has been for quite some time. As soon as they knew the game was here, the tickets evaporated. They blitz. Thrown a little bit behind Billy Joe Dupree. This time Nolan Cromwell on the coverage.
That's the one angle where the sun does hit you right in the eyes, too. BJ looked around, wasn't quite expecting the ball that quickly. And that's the one area in the Coliseum out here where you look back into that western sun. Well, it's nice to have it on your back, though, you know?
Gosh, you remember coming here as a player for the first time and looking at these stands, and what an awesome sight this is. That's when the field was in the middle of the Coliseum before they move it down where it is now, and it seated about 110,000, and it was frightening.
But this crowd today is the most crowd I've ever seen in L.A. for enthusiasm.
3rd and 10 situation for the Dallas Cowboys with 1:16 left to play in the first half. And no points on the board yet. The throw is through the hands of Tony Hill. And again, that sun factor you were talking about caused him to lose sight of that. Rod Terry on the coverage, but he just couldn't see it.
There it is. It's no excuse. The ball was thrown pretty well. But number 80 puts these away sometimes. That was a identified flying object. That baby was whistled.
Now look out for this guy. Danny White, of course, can throw the football. He's the backup quarterback, as well as being the punter. 1:12 left to go in the first half. This will be his 5th punt. Jackie Wallace back for the Rams. Think they have a pass play for this formation?
And a running play.
We've seen him run. We'll watch him take a run again. Henderson is down there in good shape, and Dallas will down it at about the 11. Mike Hegman is number 58, who caught the ball as it bounced. A 27-yard kick is all.
But that's a 17th one inside the 20 this year. Good placement.
Next Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, January the 14th, of course, that'll be the premiere of the Challenge of the Sexes.
All right, I think they ought to have a little joust with that.
Roscoe Tanner against Martina Navratilova.
She's in great shape these days, though, isn't she?
Oh, so is he. I played in a tournament with him not too long ago. And he pinned me to the wall with that serve.
He's got the big one, hasn't he?
Challenge of the Sexes, don't forget. Next Sunday. 1:02 left, first half, and the Rams will play conservative. Take no chances. Cullen Bryant, the ball carrier.
Now, I've been down there on the field, and the quarterback is looking into the sun. That's even worse than your receivers looking into it. If he throws it and loses somebody, it's an INT, and Dallas comes storming in and gets points. He's got to be very careful looking into that.
Both teams have 2 timeouts left, but it certainly appears that the Rams are just going to sit on this 0-0 score and go to the locker room in that shape. They're not in any hurry, and they're not calling any timeouts. Hayden to Cullen, who rarely fumbles. John Capoletti is gone for the day, we think. Our information was that he separated a shoulder and will not be back. The Rams are short on running backs.
And Dallas begin to lay leather on pretty heavy. You know it, the last couple of defensive series, looks like the Cowboys are awake.
So that would be the end of the first half. I think everybody thought it was going to be a defensive battle, but I think everybody also scored I thought there would be some scores, too, as Ray Malavasi heads in with his Ram team. And Tom Landry will go in for Los Angeles. One will be number 43, Jim Jodat. And the other will be number 44, Larry Marshall. He's up at the right-hand corner of your picture. Raphael Septien, who last year played for the Rams, will kick off for Dallas.
Jodat and Marshall will bring it straight up until they make contact. Nothing fancy. Come right up with the wedge and hope somebody runs by them and they find a hole.
Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire, the NFC Championship game at the Los Angeles Coliseum. One of these two will play Pittsburgh and Miami 2 weeks from now. Hollywood Henderson just checking in on the kickoff team. Raphael Septien will kick off for Dallas. No score at the end of 1/2 of football. And here is Septien. A good kick. Chases Marshall back 2 yards deep into the end zone. He hesitates, and then he comes out. And Larry Marshall is out to about the 22. Hit by Bruce Heather.
Here's Heather. Again, these special team fellows for Dallas are waiting for somebody to retire or die or move away from Dallas so they can play football. And they're aggressive, they're fast, they're big, and the only shot they get is on special teams, and they take it.
Dennis Thurman also made contact with Larry Marshall. The Rams have the football at their own 22. Roger Staubach loosening the arm behind the Dallas bench. 1st and 10 Rams at their own 22. Rod Phillips and Cullen Bryant, the Ram running backs. Capoletti is lost. Hayden gets away from Too Tall. Jones gets back perhaps to the line of scrimmage, and Harvey Martin puts the hook on him.
That time Ron Jesse was trying to run an inside pattern, and Benny Barnes took his one legal chuck and knocked 81 flat down. In fact, Jesse got up looking. Let's see if you can see it. Let's watch the pass rush. Out of the corner of your eye, wait for Ed Too Tall Jones to show up. You can't blame Hayden now for looking somewhere else. And Jesse had been knocked down, so there was nobody really open or running.
Hayden lost a yard. It'll be 2nd 11. Rams nothing, Cowboys nothing. It's Cullen Bryant straight ahead and hit by Bob Brunig right in the hole. Let's go down and get a report from Frank Lieber on the sideline.
I can tell you where the emphasis was, Pat, in the Cowboy locker room. They're very interested in improving their first down situation so they don't get in the big hole on 3rd down, and you may look for the Cowboys to throw the football a little bit more on 1st down when they get it back.
Thank you, Frank. That's a good observation.
Lieber's in good shape, I'll tell you that. He's ready, huh?
Oh, he's trimmed down.
Here's a 3rd down that Pat Hayden would probably want to be careful with.
They have Mike Hegman in on defense as an extra linebacker, the Cowboys do, on what looks like a passing situation, and Hayden drops. The protection is adequate. The throw is not. Nobody open, or he couldn't find anybody. I believe it was intended for Willie Miller, but I'm not sure. It was so
I'm not sure.
So
I think maybe
away.
Nelson, the tight end, who was lined up by himself, was supposed to continue across the field and pulled up on the thing. Hayden will get it figured out. He has good wheels upstairs. He's a very bright young person.
A Rhodes Scholar. So he's ahead of us.
Only a couple of grades.
It'll be Glenn Walker, and Quince Johnson stands alone at his own 40. Walker to punt. They're going to Los Angeles.
They may be coming.
Rams think they are. They tighten up. I got him. You got him. I don't know. They finally get it underway, and they do not block it. The line drive comes to Butch. And Butch, who had his problems last week, gets back into Ram territory to the 37. So the Cowboys' first possession will be good. Only a 28-yard kick by Glenn Walker. I don't know who she's for. There's Whistling Ray.
Highway patrolman may pull her over.
She has a Texas license and a Los Angeles license. Tomorrow night on CBS, it's Your First Kiss, Charlie Brown, followed by The White Shadow.
It's a great show, by the way. Kitty Howard's going to come by in the 3rd period. We'll get to talk to him, and he's a darn good athlete in his own right.
Nash, of course, it's always been great. And Lou Grant.
He can play, too.
Enjoy that. Tony Hill comes in motion, and Roger Staubach is going to throw on 1st down, as Lever said. Overthrows Drew Pearson.
Mike Fanning put the big pressure on Roger, the former Notre Damer, the last 2 or 3 games of the season. really came on strong, and he's replacing Larry Brooks, an all-pro type person in the middle there.
Second down, 10 yards to go.
Fanning is 6'6", 250. There he comes.
260 pounds. He got Roger Lowe, and Youngblood finished off the upper part of the body.
Tony Dorsett and Scott Laidlaw are the running backs for the Cowboys as Ray Malavasi looks on. He might have had the most difficult task of anybody. Although he did have a lot of talent on this team, the conditions under which he took over were very unique. Dupree stretches it, flipped off. The impetus took him into the end zone. The Rams will start at their own 20.
Again.
Pat Thomas.
Watch the outside rush by the blitz. It'll come to the right part of the screen from the shotgun. Roger gets it loaded up, and here comes Jim Youngblood. And Roger threw a UFO this time.
And they say the impetus didn't take him into the end zone. It looks to me as if there is no way that Pat Thomas could avoid going into the end zone.
And he's not trying to run with it. It looks like, as you say, the receiver, Dupree, goes ahead and takes him in. But it doesn't come out to the 20. They'll start from about the 2.
That's correct.
Some player, that's his 9th interception of the year.
Ram fans with their pom-poms. There's been a lot of discussion about that this week, too. We'll tell you about that in a minute. But they are coming alive, and the Rams operate with their 2 setbacks, Rod Phillips and Cullen Bryant, in the end zone. And Cullen gets the carry. To the 5, Ed Jones made the first hit.
This field position really would lean toward Stautner and Stallings' troops, Jerry Tubbs, getting the ball, and maybe the defenses on these teams have to score to win the game. I thought that coming in that the defense would have to account for maybe 10 points to win anyway.
Nothing score. And the way Glenn Walker has been punting, the Dallas defense needs to tighten the screws down here because he hadn't had a punt yet over 30 yards. Hayden is going to throw out of the end zone. He does, and the receiver slips down. It was intended for Ron Jesse, covered by Benny Barnes.
Benny wasn't too far off the short out that time. Once in a while, a slipping receiver can sort of spike the ball up and hang it.
Looking over on the sideline at Tom Landry, and Ernie Stautner sends in his nickel. The extra linebacker and the 2 extra defensive backs.
Pat, that's different every time. It's never the same nickel. The different coverages they throw at you, almost impossible to read all the time.
Quick count for Hayden. They're jumping, and Hayden scrambles in the end zone and finally throws it away. There's a flag down in the end zone.
And Henderson might have grabbed the face mask of Pat Hayden. This could be an incredible break right here. Look at this grin.
That's right. And it was Hegman, I think.
It's going to be received with applause after they start walking.
Let's see if it was Hegman or Henderson. 58 or 56.
Personal foul, grabbing and face marks, 72.
72.
First down.
Ed Jones, first down Rams. Let's watch, see.
If he grabs your face mask, you might lose the whole head. Watch to the right part of your screen now. Again, that nickel defense has people covered. He's standing in the goal to the end zone. Well, there goes Jonesy by.
No question, but that number 72 got him by the face mask. And there comes Hegman. It'll be a first down Ram. Rod Phillips and Cullen Bryant behind Pat Hayden. Blitz is on, and Ed Jones and Larry Cole take down Cullen Bryant.
Cliff Harris took about a 12-yard run and safety blitzes. Misses the tackle, but watch this. Now Hayden knows he's got to make a quick handoff. Bryant gets by the safety blitz, but if you blitz and stay in your lanes, it's not too bad against the run. It's not really that weak.
I get the impression from watching this first series that Dallas might be a little bit more intense than they were in the first half. Second and 9. There's the flex as Hayden has good protection this time for a while at least. And the throw is no good. Almost picked off by Charlie Waters. Benny Barnes had a chance. Brunig was back there, intended for Jesse.
Looks like if Barnes hadn't gone ahead and fought for it, that Waters had it put away. But you don't know where everybody is, and you'll take what you can get. Waters looking back takes it. Barnes is fighting the receiver and the ball.
Again, it was Larry Cole that applied the pressure to Hayden. 5 for 12 is Pat for 55 yards.
The double blocking is being put on Randy White. Some people think he plays two people trying to block him better than one that just gets him early.
Third down for the Rams. No score, nothing, third quarter. 11 and a half minutes left to play in the third quarter. Hayden drops. He has time. Waters down the far sideline. Charlie Waters cuts back. Dallas has it at the Ram 10. Colin Bryant made the tackle. Turnovers.
And again, Charlie Waters, all he does is key the tight end. Nelson never had a chance for it. And you're right, intensity level for the guys in blue is sky high right now. There's a twist on defense. They pick up Randy White. Man, he had the inside on the tight end all the way. Hayden was not pushed to throw that ball.
He had a lot of time. Colin Bryant made the tackle. It'll be first and goal, Dallas. Just past the 10. Dorsett and Laidlaw behind Roger Staubach. It's Laidlaw to about the 8.
Franco Harris couldn't run against the Ram defensive line. Try to send big backs in there, you're going to get them chewed up.
Laidlaw is not all that big. He only goes about 2'5". Again, Tom Landry has sent in his messenger cards. In this case, it's Burton Lawless, who has replaced Rafferty. Nolan Cromwell comes in. Reynolds comes out. Rams have 5 defensive backs then. It'll be second down at the 8. Staubach hands to Dorsett. Dorsett slips down at the 13. Bill Simpson was just staring at it. And Tony D fell down.
I couldn't tell if he fell down or bailed out. Tried to make a little move, and when Simpson just stared him in the eye, the feet went. He makes a heck of a move, Dorsett does, to get out of here. Brzezinski wants him pretty bad. Boy, can he move the feet. Now he decides to level off and cut it back inside.
Bill Simpson is number 48, looking right at him. And you start to think about Raphael Septien, who was a Ram last year and who has been knocked in the Ram, in the Los Angeles papers this week. He's the Dallas kicker. Preston Pearson in the Dallas backfield. Ram defense has been great. Tony Hill is the intended receiver, and it goes out of the end zone.
That was an intentional job. Roger decided to try to get 3 points. And he just whistled it into the pom-pom girls down there.
Interference, I think, Thomas, has been called in the end zone against somebody.
The far receiver.
Illegal chuck. And it's going to be Dallas ball still, and they'll have another crack.
It's a hard one to remember that even though the receiver's not being thrown at, you can't chuck him illegally either.
Defense, illegal contact, number 27. That's a first down.
You think that would be received?
Pat Thomas was working on the receiver to the top of that end zone, and even if the ball isn't thrown that way, you still have to play by the Geneva Convention, I guess is what they're calling it.
First and goal at about the 7.5. So they'll have 4 more cracks. And forget about Septien for a while. Jackie Smith and Billy Joe Dupree, both in the game for the Cowboys. From here, you really need to be able to run it in. Dorsett might have gotten to the 4.5.
The big surprise is that Dorsett runs inside very well. He gets to those tacklers while they're still fouled up with blockers, and he can make a yardage in there. Very quickly, he scoots in. Watch this. Remember, the Rams now are fighting off blocks. Now Hacksaw stops the momentum and shoves it back the other way.
If you're a Ram, That's what you're looking at on defense. Jack Reynolds is number 64, settling into his middle linebacker position. Staubach will operate this time from the 4.5 and give to Dorsett again. And Tony Dorsett scores.
There's some leg action you won't see very often. He runs in drive gear most of the time, and once in a while goes zip, and it's over.
The Cowboys do have some fans here. And for the first time, there are points on the scoreboard. 6 for Dallas, and Septien will try to make it 7.
Watch the move here. Rayfield's already thrown. Again, it's quickness more than strength, but he's strong too.
Charlie Waters, who set the whole thing up with that interception, will hold for Raphael Septien. Good. Cowboys 7. The Rams nothing. 9 minutes, 11 seconds left to play in the third quarter. And the Cowboys have the first touchdown of this championship game.
I'm with Kim Howard, who is the coach, of course, on White Shadow. It's a great show, and I've watched every one of them. You enjoying doing it?
Yeah, it's a ball.
You played some basketball, though. You're a pretty good athlete anyway, aren't you?
I played in high school on a great team, and in college I went to Amherst, and I think my high school team would have beaten Amherst. But,
I'll tell you, White Shadow's great. You handle some very sticky subjects. You do a very good job on that.
Oh, we're having a ball on it, and we appreciate your, the phones were ringing that morning when you said you liked the show.
Are they changing it?
Yeah, we're on tomorrow night, a half hour late at 8:30 to 9:30 after Charlie Brown.
Right.
And then we go to Saturday night, starting January 13th at 8 o'clock.
All right, Kitty, good luck to you. It's a great show.
Thanks for you.
Okay, he's the White Shadow, all right.
Well, he's a big guy, too.
I'd say he is.
Back to the action. Serious action. Larry Marshall returned the kickoff for the Los Angeles Rams. He was stopped by Dennis Thurman. And there is the man who scored the touchdown. Tony Dorsett and again. We'll see at the Super Bowl. The Cowboys, like the Steelers, would have a chance to win 3 if they make it. Nobody else has ever done that.
I'll tell you one thing, the Rams will be battling in the 4th period. 1 touchdown ain't going to win it.
9:02 to left in the 3rd period. Pat Hayden, the Ram quarterback, throws back to Cullen Bryant. At a time like this, you do not want to panic too soon. You don't ever want to panic.
You know, Bryant still runs about a 4.65 40. When he came out of Colorado, he was about a 4.5 guy and a great defensive back, but he really didn't get the running job until Kutch, the great runner McCutcheon, went down this year. And as you said, with Tyler and Peacock and all the great running backs, if they had had those, this Ram team might have been unbeatable, you know?
He got 2. Bryant, by the way, is the leading rusher in the game. 14 carries, 38 yards. It's been a defensive battle. Flag. Hayden throws outside to Rod Phillips. Fumble. And he is saying incomplete pass is Pat Hayden. Ben Dreifel will make the ultimate decision, and I think that's what he's saying. But again, there was a flag on the play, and I think Larry Cole might have jumped offside.
Boy, Dallas is really hitting on defense, though. Right now, it's much like that Atlanta second half start. You could almost read that somewhere in that dressing room at halftime, the defense decided to go ahead and hit. That's Larry Cole to the right. He was a little off. But this tackle right here was not by Jones.
Defense offside. That's 2nd down.
There was Larry Cole, who, by the way, I think Tom has played an outstanding game. What a clutch player.
Oh, Bubba Cole.
Second, looks like about 3 they need at their own 32. Bryant will have it. It appears.
How about 300 and some odd carries without a fumble against people like this? There's Brunig, number 53, the middle linebacker, working against what some people say is the most underrated center in football, and that's Saul, number 61.
Number 61 had a little misunderstanding with one of his teammates last week, and the teammate lost. First down Rams.
On all cards.
Hayden gives to Rod Phillips, who struggles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Randy White was the first Cowboy to hit him. D.D. Lewis helped out. 7-0 Dallas. 7:55 left third quarter. The number 1 defense in the NFL goes to Los Angeles.
Hayden is 5 of 13 for 55 yards and has missed on his last 5.
Dallas was the number 2 rated defensive team. Number 1 against the rush. So you figured it would be like this. Hayden going deep for Jesse. He'll be out of bounds. Benny Barnes on the coverage, and it was excellent.
It's perfect. He got inside of the receiver and made the receiver crawl all over him. Watch this. Pretty good rush here. Little blitz action from the offside. Watch Barnes now get in front of the receiver and work the sidelines. And even Jesse couldn't jump over him and catch it.
I was talking to Tom Landry Friday night after the press conference, and I said, Tom, I'm surprised nobody asked you about the problems that you had with Ron Jesse the first time. And are you going to give Benny Barnes any help? And he said, no, we think he can do the job.
You don't change what's going. Right.
Third down. And the heat is on Hayden. He throws. And it's caught and then dropped. It's incomplete. Pass is incomplete. Joe Dat struggling. But Glenn Walker will be in.
I'm telling you, Cliff Harris really battled the tight end trying to make the catch. Terry Nelson, watch this. Here's the rush now. And Hayden is no longer getting a lot of time. See number 58's in there blitzing Mike Hegman.
And Randy White as well.
But Randy gets it. He likes to sort of get the steam coming off his back like a workhorse.
Waters again did a good job to strip that ball loose. Here's Walker's punt. And this time it's better. Butch Johnson operates from his own 29, straight up the field, and Butch gets to the 42. Again, the yellow flag is down, however. 37-yard kick by Walker that time. Going to be clipping against Dallas. And they'll back him up.
Roger Staubach is 8 of 16 for 68 yards, and he's missed on his last 5 passes. So that Ram defense hadn't gone home either.
No, sir. Both good defense.
Personal foul, clipping, a number 59 on the run back. Timeout.
59 is Guy Brown. And he was the guilty clipper. 7:13 left in the third quarter, and the Cowboys. Roger Staubach is, of course, the Dallas quarterback. His offensive line is the way it began. Ray Theowright and Pat Donovan the tackles. Rafferty and Scott the guards, and Big John Fitzgerald the center. A handoff is to Billy Joe Dupree. The end-around struggle ends after a gain of about 3, stopped by Fred Dreyer.
Made a pretty good move on Brzezinski to pick up some yardage. I have never seen number 89 swivel hips, but it's a pretty good play. Tight end around. Rams usually come across and force this a lot earlier. Watch this move right here. He's been watching Dorsett in practice.
And in the games. 89 takes down 89.
Careful of turnovers, though. The Rams defense lives by him.
That's how Dallas got on the scoreboard. Pass interception by Charlie Waters set him up. And then that critical penalty. Roger Staubach throws over the head of Drew Pearson on the way down.
He rolled to the side of Brzezinski, and the linebacker was released then, so full of speed, all ahead full. Watch number 59 to the right now, right in the center of your screen. Doing exactly what the linebacker wanted him to do, give him a shot.
Rod Perry on the coverage. Brzezinski almost got there. Jim Meyer standing behind Tom Landry. The last 13 passes thrown in this game have been incomplete. That says something for your defense, doesn't it? Roger operates from the shotgun. That one is to Preston Pearson, not incomplete in Ram territory.
What a pattern, though, Pearson runs. And that time, oh, we got an offensive flag, it looks like, down. Be some holding by Dallas.
That's what it is.
Seemed like Roger had a lot of time to wait for Pearson to swerve to the outside and come back in.
Maybe that's why. Let's see who did it.
Remember, with the new rules on blocking and no head slapping and no chucking except for 5 yards, defense is really having to fight for its life.
Offensive holding, number 68.
Herbert Scott. Will be interesting to see what this call is. Dallas has been penalized 7 times for 65 yards. The Rams twice for 15 yards. But one of those was really crucial.
And this Ram defense, because of the big rush and the excellent people deep, have 28 interceptions coming in. They love for you to throw it on 3rd and long.
Are they going to be conservative, or will they throw it?
Wish I knew.
I think conservative. I'm wrong again. Mike Fanning. Sack Staubach at the 2. 3rd sack for the Rams.
All right, action on the line of scrimmage. Staubach gambling, as Patrick said. He had crossing patterns. Pearson was trying to clear. Take that shell out of the breach. Don't even worry about it.
John Fitzgerald was the blocker who tried to pick up Fanning, but he got around him. And Danny White will have his heels right at the end zone before he kicks for the 6th time. He's got to be very careful not to step out of the end zone.
And he's had 1 blocked. I think St. Louis got one early in the year.
They're not trying. A knuckler that Jackie Wallace handles at the 45. Retreats to the 50. Gets a couple of blocks, and he's got some room. Wallace out of bounds at the 23-yard line. The Rams in great shape. Jim Jodat got a great block. Watch number 43.
And they get them legally. They're very careful about this. A 58-yarder was Wallace's. There was Jodat's block. Great run back and good team execution.
Mike Hegman finally made the tackle. Wallace is not very fast, but he has that great knack. There he is.
He can find the crack. Place almost went upside down. The people have not stopped yelling. Now they smell something.
And Hayden asked for quiet. First down for Rams on a quick count. Larry Cole and Ed Jones converge. Jack Youngblood over on the sideline. A little oxygen.
Talk to him before a game. He looks right through you. He gives you that handshake with the taped hands, but he's not really thinking about you at all. I like him like that, don't you, before a game?
Yes. Speaking of taped hands, those belong to Saul, the Rams center. Pat Hayden is looking at Dallas blitz and throws quickly. He's got Ron Jesse. He reads that so well. As soon as he sees him, he's ready to unload. Benny Barnes made the tackle. Ray Malavasi looks on.
And same play they did early in the game in the first period. Now Jesse also has to make the adjustment. 2 steps, take the inside, and you know you're going to get a shot.
3rd down approaching.
3rd catch for Jesse.
About 3 yards. The Ram cheerleaders at the moment have reason to cheer. 4:15 left, 3rd quarter. Dallas leads by a touch. Colin Bryant bowls down close to a 1st down. Randy White felt the power of Colin Bryant that time.
That time White was sort of shifting along, trying to get rid of the blocker. Bryant's darn near as big as Randy White. It'll be close, huh?
Very. And if they didn't make it, I gotta believe he'll go for it. And they need that much. And the discussion goes on over in front of the Ram bench, and In come Rod Phillips and Charlie Young. They are going to go for it.
The big tight end comes in, and a very good blocker inside. There's no tomorrow anyway.
They had a great supply of those pom-poms last week, but the fire department said can't use them this week. So they replaced them this week with non-flammable ones after many objections. 4th and a foot.
I got 2 already.
Joe Dad and Cullen Bryant.
Wow.
I don't know.
I don't think Bryant made an inch.
Larry Bethea is jumping up and down saying he didn't make it. Ray Malavasi is motioning, of course, in the other direction.
Remember against Atlanta when the team gambled and couldn't get the first down?
Yes.
Sometimes a foot is about 10 miles.
Referee Ben Wright calling for the veteran.
And Ben Drive, the referee, will bring him back again. The chains, I mean.
I thought somebody made penetration on the Rams side of the line of scrimmage.
Didn't get it.
Here it is. There's nothing fancy about 4th and a foot.
Larry Bethea made the key play. The Cowboys' #1 draft choice is worth it right now. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at the Coliseum of Los Angeles.
Look how that turf is chewed up where they just went 4th and a foot.
And Dallas held. They did the same thing against Atlanta. As you mentioned, Dorsett and Laidlaw. And it's Scott Laidlaw. For about 3, Cody Jones was the first Ram to hit him. It's Drew Pearson who's down, but not hurt.
Second down, 6 yards.
Laidlaw's come on and been quite a performer, though, hasn't he? He's averaged like 59 yards for his last 5 games for the Cowboys, coming off the bench and hadn't played much up until Newhouse got the fraction.
Burton Lawless checks in with the play for Roger Staubach. Ray Malavasi and his coaching staff, that's Charlie Waller, with the headset on. Cody Jones is 76. One of the Ram defensive tackles, the other is Mike Fanning. Pearson comes in motion. He's going to throw it if he has time. To Dorsett. And Dorsett swings down the sideline. It will be a Dallas first down, but a penalty marker is down. Jack Reynolds chased him out, but where the flag is dropped would indicate again holding against Dallas.
Some play, though, to fake to Dorsett and get the swing going that way and then give it back to him later.
Maybe roughing the passer, I'm sorry.
Roger held it till the last second. Of course, he's been in so darn many big games.
And that comes after the game.
Defense, personal foul, roughing the passer, number 89.
Fred Dreyer.
Remember, the fake now is to Dorsett going this way. Let's see where it comes from. It's Dreyer going but for the body, not trying to go through the face or anything. He's just a little late.
Cowboys come out of the hole a little bit. Just outside their own 40 is where they have the possession now. Dallas leads 7-0. That's a tough call.
That was a very tough call, I tell you. That ball was just revolving out of Rogers' hand.
Pearson again comes in motion. And the end around this time to Jackie Smith, and he is tripped up in his own backfield. Veteran Jackie Smith by Jim Youngblood.
Youngblood made 80 solo tackles. That means all by yourself. Watch this one where he strips and gets the feet. Not a good handoff, a bad exchange. Roger was fumbling with the ball from the start. I tell you, Rams are coming.
Laidlaw hit Staubach right there and almost knocked the ball loose. Jackie Smith scored a touchdown last week against Atlanta. They tied the game. Jim Youngblood has played about as well as any linebacker in the league this year.
Should be in the Pro Bowl. That is, I can't believe that he's not playing for the NFC in the Pro Bowl.
Preston Pearson in the game on second down. And 19 they need. Saw back going deep for Tony Hill. Picked off by Nolan Cromwell. Cromwell gets back to his feet, but the Rams will have the football at their own 29.
It's only the second interception for Cromwell, but you can expect him to be a great player whenever he gets a chance. A great quarterback at Kansas. Look at this. He got the inside, and the ball was underthrown just enough to give him a shot at it. Tony Hill made it pretty tough, though. He went over his shoulder and tried to get a tie, didn't he?
Cromwell is one of the best in the world, or was, in the 400-meter hurdles.
13-8 or something like that.
Hayden drops on that quick count. Jesse has it across the middle at the 44. Benny Barnes, the Dallas defender. The crowd and the Rams have come alive. 14-yard gain.
Remember, if they complete a few over the middle to either Nelson or Jesse, Miller will have a chance to get up the sidelines. They won't be able to protect and help the outside. Watch this. Good blocking. Boy, the ball is thrown right on.
Is there anybody in pro football better than Jesse coming across like that?
I don't know of anybody.
Hayden firing deep. This time it's for Miller. Aaron Kyle right with him.
Hayden was really wrapped that time just as he squeezed off the round. See where the rush came from. Rhodes Scholar sets it up. Henderson and Brunig both come down there.
Both linebackers. But not an illegal shot. Jesse has caught 4 passes for 42 yards. He's the leading receiver in the game. Dallas leads 7-0 with 1:15 left, third quarter. Coliseum has been full since about noon, and it still is. Rick Harris comes up on the line of scrimmage, takes the blitz, doesn't come. Randy White puts the heat on. Charlie Waters has the interception, and again Charlie Waters down the far sideline. Waters' second interception of the game. What a contest he has had.
Remember last year he had 3 against the Chicago Bears in the playoff, and this time it looks like Nelson is open. And again, Hayden did not have time to second guess it. Watch Hayden how quickly he has to. Randy White on the move.
Randy White gets a hurry.
Another viewpoint. A little better look. Look at the tight end. And there's Waters again. He's been watching Nelson in his sleep all week.
Cullen Bryant took him out of bounds. Well, the Rams shaken up just a little bit. That's the end of the third quarter with the score Dallas 7. That's not the end of the third quarter. We now pause for a word from your local station.
When out of the sky comes.
That's Pat Hayden, and let's go down to Frank Gleber for a report.
Preliminary indication here at the field from the Rams team doctors is that Hayden has suffered a broken right thumb. If that's the case, he's probably through for the day, and that means Vince Ferragamo for the Rams the rest of the way. Exactly how it happened, we don't know.
We know, but it was a clean shot by Randy White, and he might have hooked his thumb in the helmet hole on White's helmet.
You mean in the ear?
Yes.
Right. In any case, Dallas gives the ball to Laidlaw, and he just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, and then he's hustled back. Let's go back and look at that play and watch Randy White.
Here comes Randy White. Again, the ball is just gone. There's where the right hand must have gotten it. Watch now as Hayden rolls over and is still holding it sort of clinched. He's worried about the interception. That hand is already there and hurting.
Charlie Waters' 9th playoff interception. His second today, and that is a playoff record. He had been tied with Willie Brown of the Oakland Raiders before that. They give to Dorsett and a fumble.
Like Freddie Dryer made the big stick coming over the top, and that would be fumble number 14 for Tony Dorsett this year.
Of course, the Dallas players saying it's ours, and that's what the referee rules.
We have to play the Star Spangled Banner to get them untangled down there.
15 seconds left to play in the third quarter. We sort of misled you a little bit ago. Pat Donovan made the recovery.
Rafferty trying to go over from left to right for your trap block. Freddie Dryer just read it and came around behind it. Shoulder pads right on the numbers.
So it'll be a third down, Cowboys. They lead 7-0 with 1 second left to go in the third quarter, and that, this time, is the end of the third quarter. And the Cowboys, paced by Charlie Waters' 2 interceptions, lead Dallas at the end of 3, 7-0. And the Ram fans, in spite of the fact that they trailed 7-0, are not discouraged at the moment. 3rd and 10 with Preston Pearson and Tony Dorsett operating behind, or with, I should say, Roger Staubach, who comes out of the shotgun and throws. It is Preston Pearson inside the 5 to the 3. What a remarkable performance.
And does he like to play in Los Angeles?
I think he likes Dallas, too.
I know it, but you know he's in the lineup to catch it. He'll come out of the backfield, out of that shotgun. Here he is, being shadowed, cuts away from it, pushes into that defensive nickel man, and then away, and there he goes.
What a
good ball
move.
carrier once he catches it, too.
What a good move. 1st and goal, Dallas at the 3.
Remember, Roger had to throw 46 times in that losing game here early. That was only his 20th today.
They operate from the 3. Pearson has done his work. He is out. And it's Laidlaw and Dorsett behind that man. Dallas leads already 7-0. Pat Hayden has broken his thumb. And it's Laidlaw who's hit by Youngblood before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Can't run against him, can you?
They think they do have to win the football game now. Ferragamo will be the quarterback. They've got to get some turnovers. They almost got one on that last fumble exchange.
Vince Ferragamo of Nebraska will be the Ram quarterback.
6'3", about 215. Remember we saw him in the Fiesta Bowl for Nebraska?
We also saw him in Washington last year at the end of the year when he did a good job. Hayden's thumb, by the way, was a compound fracture. And he went down in obvious pain and has gone to the locker room already. 2nd down and goal, Dallas. They lost 2 on that last play as Dorsett takes the fake. Laidlaw takes the ball in for a Dallas touchdown.
Laidlaw has now scored 7 touchdowns in his last 6 starts.
4 out of the last 5 years, the Rams have been in the NFC title game. They have never made it to the Super Bowl. They hired George Allen to take him there. That didn't work. Ray Malavasi got him this far.
Now Dorsett, after being faked to, cuts at Dreyer. And here's the second man, the first man out on that side. And Elmendorf just couldn't head him off the flag.
Raphael Septien with the hero holding. Charlie Waters. With Dallas 14. Rams nothing. 1 more quarter almost. 14:02 left to play.
Touchdown play.
Laidlaw is in. Raphael Septien will kick off for Dallas. Cowboys lead it 14-0. That's the story of the drive, but the story of the game has been the play of Charlie Waters. That's Jim Jodan. That ought to be Dennis Thurman who took him down. Played collegiately here, of course, at USC.
Steele claimed a fumble on that return, and here's Ferragamo. He was 7 for 20 for 114 yards and no TDs and 2 INTs. Tough spot for a young quarterback.
Tonight on CBS, 60 Minutes. All in the family, Alice and Dallas. 60 Minutes visits the country music capital of the world, Nashville, Tennessee. And All in the Family has Edith losing her voice, and then Vera loses her man. And Alice, I don't know which is worse. Ferragamo drops and throws. Rod Phillips almost had it. Covered by Thomas Henderson.
Pretty involved pass play to come in with your first one. Had 3 backs, 3 receivers out on the right side. Henderson was in pretty good coverage position that time.
Jack Youngblood looking up at those lights on the far side of the field. Hayden obviously is finished. He had 7 out of 19 for 76 yards and 3 INTs. 2 by Charlie Waters that set up both the Cowboy touchdowns. Ferragamo with time this time. Had Cullen Bryant, threw it well. Charlie Waters was chasing Cullen. There's Fred Dreyer. That roughing the passer call against him a few minutes ago was marginal.
At best. By the way, a compound fracture, I'm not an orthopedic surgeon, but I have had some experience with them. Compound means it's a displacement, and the bone has come through in the thumb, and
that means it's serious.
Means you can't throw with it.
Not for a long time, anyway. John Capoletti suffered a separated shoulder earlier in the game for the Rams. He has not been back. They had a tough time injury-wise. Ferragamo has Jesse, and Jesse drops it. Again, the closest Dallas defender was Charlie Waters, but when things are going bad, they all go bad.
When the new quarterback comes in, the team either sags because Pat Hayden is out. These are 2 drops, and even really 3. That first pass he threw was catchable. I bet Jesse hadn't dropped the ball like that in 2 or 3 years.
And you've heard it said so many times. He took his eyes off the ball and started to look where he might be going before he got it in his hands. You say it, you say it, you say it. The players still do it. They always will. Glenn Walker. The Ram punter takes a stroll over to his right. He was behind the wrong man, I guess.
I think they're coming.
And the Rams take too much time.
That's better than getting it blocked.
Delay on the offense. I never have been able to decide whether a punt was an offensive play or a defensive play. What do you think?
If it's a good punter, it's an offensive play.
In this case, based on what's happened today, the Rams are on defense.
You have a way with words, don't you?
This is a fine kick, though. Butch Johnson retreats back to his own 36. Will try to get around to the outside and does not. He is tackled by Jackie Wallace. 48-yard kick that time by Walker. And so with 13:26 left to play at the Los Angeles Coliseum, Dallas leads 14-0.
Will you get through the ice and snow, rain, the long hot summer?
Got out of championship game. The skies have been good to us in Los Angeles. We were just trying to look up when was the last time a team was shut out in a championship game. There's John Capoletti with his back to you there, separated shoulder earlier. I think I was in the game the last time there was a shutout.
This says 1968. The Colts and the Browns.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Gary Collins had the big day.
And Jim Brown, I think, huh?
And Frank Ryan. Dorsett shakes one tackler. And down goes the penalty flag. It was Dreyer that had the early shot at Tony Dorsett and lost him. Jack Reynolds made the tackle.
Boy, perfect position on defense, and that darn Dorsett broke the tackle. He really has strong wheels. Dupree being the counselor on this. Oh.
Holding Dallas.
Holding against Dallas.
Remember, this Ram team has run back, what, 5 interceptions for touchdowns this year.
Those cornerbacks have been very active. But now
Offensive holding, number 35.
Laidlaw is the guilty party this time. Just scored the second Dallas touchdown. Dorsett got the other one. Both set up by interceptions by Charlie Waters.
Laidlaw's going to the left of your screen and lead for this. He doesn't go for Dreyer. He goes for Elmendorf, I believe. Pretty good looking block.
Again, it's Dorsett. And he decides the best place is to get on the ground. And he did.
By Fred Dreyer.
Rams going to have to defensively sort of crowd the line of scrimmage now. So if Roger is going to pull a trigger on one, it'll be on a running situation when he'll take advantage of the Rams having to gamble so much on defense.
There's Charlie Waters. And over on the other side, there are a few smiles. Gosh, you remember those days in Washington when Charlie Waters played cornerback and Charlie Taylor had those great games, and Waters looked like one of the most forlorn figures you'd ever see. But that was when he was a cornerback and not a safety man.
Well, he's sure some safety man on the tight end side.
Roger Staubach on second down, fires. They intended for Dorsett, I believe. Incomplete. Jackie Wallace on the coverage.
Dorsett never looked for it. It went right by his helmet. He probably heard it whistling. Players always worry you that go back to the huddle like they're never going to make it.
Like Jim Brown used to?
Yep. Trying to think of the next play they come out, they look like they're shot out of guns.
Staubach 11 out of 22 for 98 yards. Dorsett 12 carries for 30 yards. So the Ram defense has done a good job. Don and Mary. You saw it on CBS. The lone setback was Preston Pearson. Across the middle to Tony Hill.
Oh.
And what an athlete that is. Drew Pearson, I beg your pardon, it was not Tony Hill. Tony Hill was with him. But Drew Pearson made the catch for 17 yards.
And Drew was dragging the player all the way with him, trying to get up for the first down yardage. He was pretty well covered. That's only Drew Pearson's second catch of the day for 19. He'll come under right to the top center of your screen. There he is. Now watch this effort. Got a long way to go for the sticks. Holding hands for a while.
With Rod Perry.
Let's go, Jackie.
He has already set a playoff record, Drew Pearson has, for catching passes in the most playoff games consecutively. 10. Of course, you got to get there before you set those kind of records. And Dallas has been there a lot. Danny White to punt. Again, it's off the side of his foot. Jackie Wallace comes over. Bounces out of bounds at about the 19. 34-yard kick for Danny White. Beginning a little dark in Los Angeles. Dark on the Los Angeles side particularly. It's 14-0 Dallas. Right. The skyline of Los Angeles back in the background. This is quite a place.
The Cowboy offense has only 145 total yards. You said the Ram defense played superbly. You're absolutely right.
Cowboys lead 14-0 as Vince Ferragamo is sacked by Dave Stalls. Number 65 comes out of nowhere.
Well, the great thing about Tom Landry is quietly, when some of his players, as young people will do, get into problems, he's taken them into his home and been very nice to them, and nobody's ever heard about it. He's never held it against them. He is really a superb person with young people.
Very active member in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and a super guy. Waters up faking a blitz on second down. Ferragamo gives to Curlin Bryant. He breaks a couple of tackles. And Rams into Randy Hughes, who finally gets him down.
They finesse Randy White that time. Watch to the right of your screen, 54. They cut him from the outside. As he spun back into the hole, Bryant just ran behind the block. Again, if you get him straight ahead, you really have to call a towing truck to stop him. He is something.
Ray Malavasi and the other members of his staff looking on. Lionel Taylor standing right next to him. Pretty good receiver himself, wasn't he? Illegal motion. It'll be Doug France. He started to come back too soon.
We ought to keep in mind, too, that the backfield that's in there right now in this championship game, none of would be starters if people hadn't gotten hurt.
Let's see what's going on with Frank Gleber down on the sideline.
Cowboys have a tendency to blitz young quarterbacks. We talked to D.D. Lewis. He says they will blitz some, particularly when the backs check up. But they know that Ferragamo can throw it a mile, so they're going to play that 4 zone and play it back deep.
You know, if you need information, I can't think of anybody better to get it from than Gleaver. Can you?
Go right to the source. What do you think Ray's thinking right now?
Oh, gosh.
The wasted chances, perhaps? They had a couple.
Yeah. 2 missed field goals in the first half by Corral. 3rd down, Ferragamo retreats. And they throw the screen pass out to Cullen, who is in front of the blockers. Randy White is, again, right there.
I look back on, I think that 4th and a foot gamble took a lot of that, whatever that quality is that great teams have, that you can't get a foot, you know, what can we do?
Well, I think it's sort of ironic, too, that but for a similar thing that happened last week, it might be Atlanta playing here. Cowboys held them in a similar situation, and Walker drills this one. I take back everything I said about his kicking. Butch Johnson out to about the 43, a 50-yard kick by Walker.
Got it to roll over. 5.3, I'll bet.
There a long time. I ask you this: is he really another Elvis, or is he just one of hundreds caught up in a money-making scheme by fast-talking Nashville promoters?
And we'll find the answer out on 60 Minutes tonight, huh?
They'll be in Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee, right after the game, except here on the West Coast, where it'll be seen at its normal time.
You know, I'm taping it.
In its entirety.
That means all of it, right?
At the 44, 1st down, Cowboys. Roger Staubach gives for Laidlaw, who gets a couple. Jim Youngblood over on that Dallas bench. Ed Jones visiting with Dave Stalls.
You know, I was sitting with Harold Carmichael and a master and a couple of players one day. And you know what the Super Bowl or a championship is all about?
Big Daddy, Langston.
It's the ring.
Langston, Oklahoma. Big Daddy. Joe Campese.
It's not the big check. It's the ring that they get that symbolizes they were something special in that particular time, you know?
Yeah. You got one. 1960.
Not the most expensive, but it feels good.
Dorsett struggles for one, perhaps. No more than that. Dallas 14. Los Angeles nothing. The last time the Rams were shut out was by San Francisco 2 years ago, 16-0. That was not in a playoff game, though.
I have a feeling you're going to start tackling the football a little bit. The Ram players on defense are a hostile group at best, and they're going to go for it. I guess you go down, you know, scratching and clawing.
They'll do that. 3rd down, 6 yards to go at the 47. Dallas has Laidlaw, Pearson, I beg your pardon. Preston. There's a lone setback. Tony Hill breaks inside Nolan Cromwell, and the ball sails over his head. Tony Hill yelling at one of the officials saying he was interfered with, but I don't think that's legitimate.
Safety blitz was picked up pretty well by the Dallas offense, but I don't think Roger did much but airmail that one and special delivery it out of the field of play.
Danny White dropped back. We'll be in the locker room of the NFC champion after the game. Our man, Mr. Gleaver, and if things work out as we plan, we'll also have a chance to chat with whoever turns out to be the loser. Jackie Wallace back for the Rams, and Danny White to punt for Dallas. They're trying to block it. Again, it's a bad drop and a bad kick. Takes a Dallas bounce right into the hands of Thomas Henderson.
Talk about double jeopardy, though. You lose your starting quarterback with a compound fracture of the thumb, and the young man has to go in and ignite the offense. He probably hasn't worked with Jesse and Miller and the different people much at all this season, really.
You also think about the Ram losses. I make no excuses, but you think about the Ram losses in running backs with Capoletti, McCutcheon, Peacock, and Wendell Tyler, all gone because of injuries. And McCutcheon and Tyler and Peacock were speed backs that they had. Jesse comes in motion and Ferragamo gets to Cullen Bryant. Randy White. Oh, what a play. What a defensive play.
He finished 16 regular season games, Randy White, I'm talking about the University of Maryland All-American, with 92 solo tackles. Now, on the line of scrimmage, I don't know if there's ever been anybody that's swift, that can get to the people that often.
Charlie Waters in the middle of that defensive huddle, calling the signals and getting the signals from Ernie Stotner, who runs it over on the sideline. Then Ferragamo drops and throws outside to Cullen Bryant. He was looked at and tackled finally by Randy White and Cliff Harris. Malavasi
loading up. He takes the bad part of this game all right. He's got a good family. He's going to be all right. You win some, you lose some. He wanted this one badly.
Raphael Septien encouraging his Dallas teammates. It's 14-0 Cowboys. The Pittsburgh Steelers are already in, and the Cowboys look like they'll have a rematch. Harvey Martin hit. Willie Miller gets down the sideline. Randy Hughes chasing Willie Miller and got him. And Miller did a remarkable job to stay in bounds and stay on his feet. 65 yards. And the pass from Ferragamo to Miller.
Of course, he was the big receiver, 50 catches during the year. Caught the TD against Dallas the first game. Watch this move by Miller now. 31-year-old rookie. Looks like he knows what he's doing. He got Cliff Harris to go out, and now it's over. Used to be a 9-3 sprint man at Colorado State.
Randy Hughes made quite a play to prevent that touchdown. It'll be first and goal, Ram, just inside the 10. And maybe I spoke too soon.
Miller's first catch and a good throw by Ferragamo.
Again, the sellout crowd comes very much alive. Ferragamo gets to Cullen Bryant, and he fumbles, and Dallas has the ball back. Harvey Martin fell on the ball.
And Harvey Martin made the tackle from behind and just literally blew the ball out of Bryant's grasp.
Was that Cullen Bryant's first fumble?
In 300 and some odd carries. Probably 315. Watch this. Left part of screen. 79. Forces it, catches it, and holds it up.
14-0 Dallas. Aha. Hi, Sandy. Sandy, of course, is our director, Sandy Grossman.
I saw that girl the other day looking for fossils at the La Brea Tar Pits, I swear to you.
What are you doing at the La Brea Tar Pits?
Just walking around, you know how I am.
Looking for fossils. First down, Dallas. That's Dorsett. And Tony Dorsett down the far sideline, being chased by Rod Perry, and finally caught by Rod Perry. But Dorsett streaks down the sideline for a gain of 53 yards.
Remember those great shots we have of Jesse Owens at Berlin running that 100-yard dash? Look at this. Watch how smooth this is. And the Colorado Buffalo stays right with him. Oh, he breaks out quickly, doesn't he?
All the way to the Ram 36. Dorsett is now 14 carries for 84 yards. That one helped his average.
He ran the 4.4 on a long grass field in August. 40-yard dash. That's pretty swift.
Quick. Billy Joe Dupree lines up on the left. Jackie Smith lined up tight on the right. Dorsett behind Laidlaw. They're both behind Stallings. That's Laidlaw. And Dallas drums down behind Laidlaw's carry to the 32. Mike Fanning on the tackle.
31-yard line. 2nd down, 5 yards to go.
5:45 left to play. And some of the massive crowd that was here in the Coliseum has started to depart.
Oh, is that fumble a blow, though, after a great pass and run Ferragamo to Willie Miller to cough it up on that first one going in?
hosting. Super Bowl will. Looks like it's going to be Pittsburgh against Dallas. Dorsett shuffles his feet and shuffles down to about the 22 before Elmendorf made the tackle.
Dorsett gets it wheeling. He's a little bit scary.
10 yards on that one.
I think if you were playing hearts with him, he'd drop the queen on you without any problem. He gets the team down. He starts getting the yardage in big stretches.
As it should be. Look at the LA bench. And of course their offensive unit. Their defense has played so very well. Doug France, that big broad back.
Dorsett has 94 and 15 carries.
Late ball this time. Inside the 20 to about the 17. Rams have all of their timeouts left, so does Dallas, but they're not going to be calling too many. Vince Ferragamo, who replaced Pat Hayden after Hayden suffered a broken thumb on his right hand, a compound fracture. There are Cowboy fans here. And they got a reason.
I think Hollywood Henderson's out of his mind. If the Rams team that we've watched today doesn't have class, maybe he doesn't know what it is.
That could be. Second down, Dallas. They need 6. Ram 18. They already lead. 14-0. Dorsett gets around to the outside, and again it's Rod Perry chasing over Bill Simpson. And Dorsett is near a Dallas first down. And he's also near 100 yards on the day.
Well, the acceleration takes place without the noticeable jerky maneuvers.
First down.
Out of the eye, so you don't know which way he's going to go. When they're in a pro set, teams like it better. When you're in the eye, Dorsett can go either way. It's tougher.
Both teams have had 58 offensive plays. Dallas has 14 points. The Rams have none.
Shows you with only that number of plays, though, how well the defenses have really torn it up, huh?
Nobody asked me about a most valuable player, but if they do, I pick Charlie Waters. Dorsett, the ball carrier. Close to the 10. It's a first down, Dallas. Well, that was.
Look at Reynolds. There's another underrated inside linebacker in this game.
Tell you what, he's not underrated by his own team. They stay away from him. The Rams have come so close so many times. And it looks like today will end in another day of frustration.
Second down, 9 yards to go.
Dallas Cowboy. What a franchise that has been. Staubach will throw, and he has Billy Joe Dupree, and it's 20-0.
Touchdown number 10 for 89.
In the blue shirts and all.
Rodgers now 13 of 25. 126 yards.
Billy Joe Dupree wide open in the Ram end zone. Nobody close.
Two tight end offenses worked pretty well the last couple of weeks.
Raphael Septien with Charlie Waters holding. It's good. And it's Dallas 21. The Rams nothing. 2 minutes, 56 seconds left to play in this contest. We'll be in the Dallas locker room after it's over. Dorf, the Rams safety man, and not for long.
I'm thinking about all the teams, you know, and I'm thinking about all the teams that played this year that are sitting at home watching this. A lot of good football was played. It just happens that Dallas and Pittsburgh are going to settle it.
You saw Isaiah Robertson coming over, patting Pat Thomas on the back. It's been a long year, but a good year for us, Dallas, Pittsburgh, and really for the Rams and all the other teams who made that playoff roster too. Jim Jodat. the Ram ball carrier.
Dorsett had 70 yards of that 89-yard drive that just ended up in a touchdown.
Jim Youngblood. That's Ferragamo as the Ram quarterback. Don't forget the NBA on CBS, regional game coverage. The Knicks against Kansas City. Chance to see Bob McAdoo in action. Chicago against Milwaukee, and the Los Angeles Lakers against Seattle Supersonics. First and 10 for Vince Ferragamo, who drops, tries to throw a screen pass, was hit. Thomas Henderson got a hand on it. Looked like Harvey Martin might have hit him just as he let it go.
Ferragamo's 7th pass. He has 3 completions. Big rush this time. Watch from the backside. Harvey Martin's going to reach over and almost get the ball before it goes, and Ed Jones almost jumped over it.
Don't forget, we will be in the Cowboy locker room after the game is over. Frank Lieber will be in there to interview the Cowboys, and if things work out as we hope, Irv Cross will be in the Ram locker room. I would imagine. Here's Randy White chasing Ferragamo, and Randy falls down. The flag is already down. The pass is picked off by Cliff Harris, and he goes down. Oh, what a feeling that is if you're on that Ram side of the field. I've been there.
I know what you mean, but the greatest teaching method of football is to watch a great player do it. And Randy White went over to the side and missed the tackle on Ferragamo and got right back up and started looking for somebody else to chase. Watch number 54 now.
Offside, number 72. Second down.
Ed Jones was offside.
Watch 54. Now watch Randy White, all-pro MVP from last year. Gets back up. He's looking for somebody else to do battle with. So it's Jethro, huh?
Jethro Pugh. 2nd and 5. You see that sign over there?
What's the sign say?
Said, Mom, send cash. No credit cards.
Don't pay the ransom and escaped, right?
Ferragamo drops again. This time the protection is good for a moment. Willie Miller is taken down by Aaron Kyle. We'll have the 2-minute warning. 14-yard gain, Ram first down. We'll have the 2-minute warning before they run another play.
Realize how efficient Aaron Kyle plays football. It's the first call we've made.
Well, that's respect, don't you think?
You betcha it is.
They just don't throw at him. Tom Landry will take his team to the Super Bowl for the 5th time. They've won 2 already. Ram first down with 2 minutes to play. The Cowboys lead 21-0.
Roger Staubach only threw the ball 25 times today. In the losing game here, he threw 46 times.
Vince Ferragamo. Complete this time to Billy Waddy. Thomas Henderson wrapped him up around his feet. Turned out that Thomas Henderson might have been a prophet.
You mean that they might win the football game?
Yes. Ferragamo fires, and this time it's Willie Miller out of bounds, covered by Aaron Kyle. Or at least he was close. Clock stops with 1:34 left to play, and a flag is down on the far side of the field as Ferragamo and Willie Miller look to Ray Malavasi.
I tell you, officiating's been first class, though.
Well,
there are always going to be some tough calls.
But they get here because they've done a good job throughout the year. This is their award, the officials, I mean.
Well, there are a lot of rules to cover and a lot of great players that know how to play right up to the limit of the law.
No penalty. No penalty.
No penalty, Ben Dride says.
I like it. They talked it over and didn't think it was a penalty.
Ferragamo has exhibited he has a good arm. Henderson. I don't believe anybody's going to catch him.
If he dunks it over the goalpost, it should signify something. There he's going for it.
There he goes. 68-yard return with the interception of a Ferragamo pass by Thomas Hollywood Henderson. He backed up his statements, didn't he?
Boy, he made a run on that ball and had it from the moment it's released. Ferragamo going to that flat. Boy, he didn't even look up to see if the LB was out there. As we said before, this young man has about as much natural ability as any football player you'll ever see. He talks it and he does it. Watch this move. Little jump shot right off the glass.
Oh, a little finger wave there. Raphael Septien with Charlie Waters holding. Will try to make it 28-0. Dallas. There's a serious problem on the field down behind the Ram bench with the police and the pedestrian. We'll check it out. Very and justifiably so, Roger Staubach. We'll talk about your class guys.
You got to get outside the 35.
I like him because he got up and yelled at the Rams in that first game, so we might beat you in the playoffs.
There is the problem, whatever it is, that we were talking about a minute ago.
Looks like a SWAT unit down there that's restoring peace.
Septien kicks it out of bounds.
Herky, the big Pro Bowl guard. Strong and tired.
Dennis Harrah.
Yep.
Whatever the problem was, there he is. I guess he just ran on the field.
Might have gotten too much Perrier water or something.
Good luck, man. Tony Dorsett over on the Dallas bench with the doctor.
Come on, Super Bowl bound.
She knows you'll be there, Tony D. That's Ben Agajanian that just walked into the picture.
Kicker of note.
Great kicker. He also cut hair.
Did he used to give you guys haircuts?
Oh, yeah.
And charge you?
Well, a few favors here and there.
Six-pack to go.
Up here. Minute 19 left to play as Septien kicks off again. That would be Joe Dad at the 5. Jim Joe Dad is out of bounds, taken out by Guy Brown. Dallas 28. Los Angeles nothing. There were chances for both teams early. Well, there was nothing at the half.
Everybody talks about turnovers, you know, and you can't really coach against them. You just get the people that don't do it under pressurized situations. Obviously, this man has committed a turnover.
This was a Cowboy fan, it looked like, that fell in disfavor with the Los Angeles police. Nolan Cromwell, who really, if anything happened to Ferragamo, would have to be the quarterback. Ferragamo throws behind. Let's see. Number 84 is Ron Smith. Right.
Malavasi the other night after the press conference got into the limousine that was driving back home and pulled into the little tavern where he's always been going on a Friday and had a couple with the guys. He said, I do it all the time. It's another game. It's the most important, but this is my life. And
no reason to change.
No reason to change.
Again, we'll be going to the Dallas locker room and perhaps the Los Angeles locker room after the game is over. And the Cowboys and the Steelers in a rematch of Super Bowl 10, which was one fine contest.
Dallas was a lot younger then.
That was the year when they had the 12 rookies. That's also the year they came out here when nobody thought they could beat the Rams, and they won 37-7. Ray Malavasi waited a long time to be a head coach. And did one heck of a job.
And does he let his assistants coach? He walks by, and the only thing he misses is the person-to-person contact that a coach has when he's working with a unit. He said he does miss that.
3rd and 10 for Ferragamo and the Rams. Coliseum empties. Caught by Dwight Scales. Touchdowns for Dallas by Dorsett, by Dupree, by Laidlaw, and by Hollywood Henderson. Ferragamo throws in the direction of Billy Waddy. Aaron Kyle and Dennis Thurman on the coverage.
The Rams had 15 possessions of the football, 2 fumbles, 4 interceptions, 2 missed field goals early when they really would have meant something, 5 punts, and twice they were stopped on downs, and once, of course, on 4th and a foot, driving.
That's a pretty good breakdown of the frustrations that they've had today. It's 28-0 Dallas. Miami, get ready. There'll be a lot of folks there with high-heel boots. And a lot of folks with Pittsburgh Steeler hats as Cliff Harris picks off the second interception of the day. The pass from Vince Ferragamo, and that should just about do it. It was intended for Ron Smith.
Remember when Clint Murchison, the owner of the Cowboys, gave Tom Landry a 10-year contract in 1964, and everybody said, that's the craziest thing we ever heard of.
It really wasn't.
Sure wasn't. 2 years later, they were in the championship game against Green Bay.
I think he can renew if he wants to.
He'll probably tell the Dallas people when he's had enough, huh?
I'd imagine that would be just the way it is. 31 seconds left to play, that's all. We would like, really, while we have the clock running now, to say thank you, sincerely, both Tom and I, to all the people around the National Football League, the publicity men, the coaches, the assistants, who've been so helpful to us throughout this great year, and it's really been a great year, Thomas.
Well, it sure has. Tom Mack, that last shot you had of the great Ram guard, played in his 186th consecutive game today.
There goes Mr. Landry. He wasn't the coach of the year, but my goodness, what a job he did. It's tough to repeat, and Dallas wins 28-zip. Tom Landry heads for the locker room, and Tom, would you like to say so long?
And I love football players, and I like our game.
Well, I thought we were saying goodbye, but we're not. Let's go to Brent.
Okay, thank you very much, Pat and Tommy. Jimmy the Greek, it's now a rematch. Pittsburgh against the Dallas Cowboys, and how do you rate it? Who will be favored?
Brent, it's going to be extremely close, but I'm going to give Rooney's men, the Pittsburgh Steelers, a slight edge. A very small edge, by the way. Like a field goal.
Like a field goal, right? Lehman, how would you analyze that game, Pittsburgh and Dallas?
I thought the real key, the Pittsburgh-Dallas game, I think Pittsburgh will win it also.
Okay, very good. Let's go back to Pat and Tommy.
And you can look now at the confusion and the happiness of the Dallas dressing room. There's Gil Brandt walking by.
He's a big part of it, isn't he?
He sure is. Talk about contributors to that program. Gil Brandt would certainly be one. And Frank Lieber is down there in the locker room. Here comes Scott Laidlaw. Ram fans obviously very, very disheartened at the moment, although not too much, doesn't seem.
Let's see how they could be, you know. They beat every team in the playoff. The Steelers have got to think about it. The Rams handle them on that Sunday night.
That's right. Yeah, there's the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, and of course is Thomas Henderson. That's Clint Murchison. And the Ram fans still waving those pom-poms. There'll be other years. There's our friend Bedford Wynn. And there's Frank Lieber. Let's go down to him.
A very happy scene in the Cowboy locker room. You know, Patrick, somebody's going to win the Super Bowl for the first time 3 times. Dallas and Pittsburgh have each won the Super Bowl twice, and of course the Cowboys become the first team ever to go to the Super Bowl 5 times. So that's quite an accomplishment. We're waiting for the Cowboy players to complete filing in here, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to one or two of them. Here's Roger Staubach coming up here right now. Come on, Roger. Congratulations, great game, great second half.
Well, it was, a defensive struggle, and Charlie Waters made the plays that set up our offense. Offensively, we We're a little erratic. The Rams have a great defense, but the turnovers, Charlie's plays in the third quarter made the difference in the game.
Nice to have those short drives, isn't it?
That made a big difference. We got frustrated early in the game. We missed a touchdown. To come back, scoring 2 in the third quarter, the way our defense was playing gave us a good feeling.
How do you feel about playing Pittsburgh?
Well, I've said before this game, the 3 finest defenses in football are Dallas, Pittsburgh, and Los Angeles. Hey, it's my own personal feeling. People disagree with that, so we're going up against another great defense, and Bradshaw's hot as a firecracker, and they'll score on us, so we have to score.
Thank you very much, Roger. Coach, come on in here. Congratulations to you. First time to get to the Super Bowl 5 times. That's quite an accomplishment.
It really was. I'll tell you, it was a great game, too. It was a great defensive battle, up till we broke it open on interceptions, and, of course, that thing had turned us our way.
Really, have you ever seen a better defensive game overall in the playoffs?
We couldn't move the football, and they couldn't either. We just couldn't move against them, and they couldn't move against us, and it became the Charlie Waters interceptions, a couple of them, and so on, that broke it to us, and when, of course, it starts steamrolling in a playoff game like this, then you get a lot more.
Some of the players we're talking, the Rams seem to be unusually uptight at the start of the game. Did you feel that?
Well, I think you're always uptight. If you haven't been to the Super Bowl and you've been denied, and the Rams are a fine football team, and it's just a shame they haven't ever made it to the Super Bowl because they deserve it. And when that happens to you, sometimes you do get up a little tight.
Size up the Cowboys and the Steelers now.
Well, I think I've always said all year Steelers are the best team, through the season because they just played that way, and they're a great football team.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to you, Coach.
Okay, Frank.
Let's go back to Pat.
Thank you very much, Frank. You look at the darkness starting to settle on the city of Los Angeles, and it settled on the Rams today as the Cowboys won 28-0. And we just like to dedicate this broadcast to that gentleman, George Drago. And we would like to thank Chuck Milton and Sandy Grossman and Rick Sharp and Brooks Graham and Mike Burks and everybody who contributed and made our job so easy. Not just those people, but the ones that work with us throughout the year on our coverage of the NFL. Terrific, Tom.
Let's go get a cool one, all right?
That sounds like a good idea to me. So for Tom Brookshire, this is Pat Summerall saying so long from Los Angeles. The NFL on CBS is a presentation of CBS.